We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
On this final Sunday of September, it's game 81 on the home schedule, and it's a gorgeous day for baseball. Welcome to Comerica Park, the final game in this series featuring the Tigers and the Minnesota Twins. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Peppa, glad to have you with us for the final home game of 2015. We see this every single season. Where did the summer go? Yet here we are. And as we bring in my partner, Ron Allen. Ron, of course, this has been an up-and-down season for the Tigers. Still some positives. How about one takeaway for you?
Well, a couple. Al Avila is the new man in charge right now, and he'll have to make a lot of decisions going into 2016 to make sure this team's competitive. But one decision he will not have to make, and that's J.D. Martinez. J.D. Martinez has done marvelous work in right field. The only decision now for Alice is to lock him up long-term, or do they go year to year? 37 homers, 98 driven in. 2 years he's been outstanding in a Tigers uniform. He has been the MVP this season for the Detroit Tigers.
All right, he was with us on opening day. He's with us again here today and throughout the entire season. Here, Kirk Gibson, we bring you in. Give me, what is your one positive takeaway?
Well, I took James McCann. You know, the catcher's such an important position. We've had Alex Avila for 5 years. Knee injuries now, concussion problems. All the while, McCann's down in the minor leagues getting his seasoning to 100 games this year. Brad Ausmus has worked with him. He's good at a game plan. He works with the pitchers well. Still has things to learn like receiving and blocking, but a solid surprise so far and a solid future for McCann and the Tigers in that position.
All right, we've got one final home game to bring you here this afternoon before the Tigers hit the road to close out the year. After a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios. Check in with Trevor Thompson. Final home game of 2015 coming up next on Fox Sports Detroit. wrapping up this series, and for the Tigers, Randy Wolf on the mound, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Randy Wolf making his 7th start in the Tigers uniform, his 5th right here at Comerica Park, looking for his first win. Fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, one of those guys that needs to pitch backwards. Can't overpower you with a fastball, and fastball counts.
So we're ready for baseball here this afternoon. The Twins win it last night. Tigers won the first game of the series. And the first pitch of today's ball game is a strike on Brian Dozier.
It's about as good as it gets as far as the fastball is concerned for Wolf. He might touch 89 here today, but does not get much above 88 most of the time.
Dozier 2 out of 7 of the series, has a double and an RBI, and he looks at a ball low, 1-1.
No, we've seen many pitchers over the years with this type of velocity. Frank Tanana comes to my mind. You locate it well inside enough, get them to respect that pitch. The other stuff works down in the zone and away.
Now Wolf ready with the 1-1 pitch, and Dozier looks at a ball inside, 2-1. 69 degrees our game time temperature, plenty of sunshine as we wrap up the 2015 home schedule today.
That last pitch that Wolf threw was 69 miles an hour. How about that?
Perfect symmetry. There's a ball low, and the count goes to 3-1.
That's what you were talking about right there, Gibby. The fact that Wolf not afraid to throw that fastball inside, which will open up the outside corner with the backdoor breaking ball. Also the fading two-seamer against a lot of the right-handers that Paul Molitor has ran out there against him this afternoon.
Fouled straight back.
Well, the other thing it does, as you know, sometimes hitters, when you get ahead in the count, you get a little big. The swing lengthens out a little bit. So if you get the pitch on the inside part of the plate, get in on the hands a little bit, and it turns out to be a good result for the pitcher if you can get it in there. Many pitchers say they want to come in, but they're scared to put it in there. They're thinking of the wrong things.
Now the 3-2. Dozier slaps it back out of play.
Those of you that have watched Tigers games all year, we've played the Minnesota Twins 18 times. We've well documented the fact that Brian Dozier is a dead pull hitter. And most of his damage is done to left field. Occasionally, he will hit the ball to center field, but most of the damage to left. So you want to stay away from him most of the time.
He did a pretty good job right there just fouling that pitch off. I think earlier in his career, and this year maybe not doing that as much.
Dozier hammers this one to center field. It'll drop in for a base hit right in front of Rajai Davis. Leadoff man aboard now for the Minnesota Twins. Here's the starting lineup for the Twins, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. And for Minnesota, it'll be, you saw Dozier, it'll be Hicks in left. It's Mauer at first. Miguel Sano is the DH and cleanup man. Hunter is in right. Nunez, the third baseman today. Escobar, Suzuki, and Byron Buxton rounding it out for Minnesota.
And here's what I was talking about regarding Dozier and the fact just about everything goes to left field. Some go to center field where that last one went, but my overwhelming majority of the time he's hitting that ball in the left center field.
Aaron Hicks showing bunt, and he takes ball one outside.
A little bit interesting, they didn't put the shift on him as well. I didn't look at the charts, but maybe more of those are in the air than on the ground on the pull side.
And he's a guy that's been doing it for a couple of years. Dead pull hitter.
Dozier measuring his lead at first base. 11 stolen bases this year. Swing and a miss. Hicks tried to hold up 1 ball and 1 strike.
And apparently Hicks was looking for something off speed there and got a fastball from Randy Wolf and still tried to get to it.
Swung after the fact. Hitters will do that sometimes. They'll look for a pitch, and if you're looking for that pitch, you have to have conviction of that pitch, and if it's something else, you want to take that pitch.
Hicks in the series is 1 for 8. Randy Wolf today is still in search of his first win as a Tiger. In his last 2 starts, he certainly pitched well enough to get a victory, but did not.
He also pitched very well in his first 2 starts in a Tigers uniform and very easily could have won both of those contests, going 7 innings in each of those games.
That one bends in for a strike, 1 and 2.
Boy, he keeps you off balance with that real slow breaking ball.
Yeah, there's been a lot of documentation about how as you get through the order 3-4 times, that the odds go up for the hitter to get the pitcher. I say Randy Wolf's a guy, if I could get 6 innings out of him, I'd have a real close look at taking him much further than that.
Well, Randy Wolf in his 6 starts has averaged 6 innings per start for the Tigers.
What a gorgeous afternoon.
It is, and fans still filing in here this afternoon. Their final opportunity to watch Tigers baseball in the Motor City this year.
Overall, pretty good weather this year, don't you think? We had a couple rain delays.
Outstanding weather this year.
Certainly the fall has been warm and sunny.
The 1-2 is lifted back out of play. Aaron Hicks with 31 RBIs this year. He's hit .318 versus Tigers pitching, and this season he has really come on and kind of established himself as a really good big league player, which means in the future now they've got 3 pretty good big league outfielders going forward, and they're all young.
But Aaron Hicks is playing with a lot more confidence these days. That's a great point.
He is.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. Down he goes. Wolf carved him up.
You pound that fastball in, then you go with the slider or the breaking ball down under the hands, and that's what you have right here. Good setup by Randy Wolf. All those innings that he's thrown over the years, he's gained a lot of knowledge and experience. Put it to good use right there with the strikeout.
That's the first time that he showed the slider to Aaron Hicks in that pitch sequence. He had thrown him a couple of breaking balls with an elevated fastball in the previous pitch, so he set him up very nicely.
I think watching this year, the Tigers pitchers in general have really been working on throwing that fastball at the top of the zone, just above the strike zone. Changes the eye level and the planes that hitters are normally used to seeing. You don't want to leave it where you just like anything else. You can hang a breaking ball, you can hang a high fastball, but Randy Wolf, another guy that understands that.
Joe Mauer, the batter. Mauer mostly this year has batted third in the lineup for Minnesota. He is third again today. He was batting second in last night's ball game. And I guess, guys, he has the skill set really to bat in either one of those positions.
No doubt. He can really handle the bat. He can hit behind the runner. He's not afraid to take a pitch. And when there's runners in scoring position, if he happens to be batting third, he has the ability to drive in a run. He's hitting about .350 in those situations.
Normally you would think Mauer would be better against righties. Actually, he's a tad better against lefties. I know earlier in the year they've been talking about, and even into last year, him pulling the ball more and having more power, but that's just not who Joe Mauer is. He's more of a gap type hitter, guy that control the bat, and he has to stick to his strengths. That's how he's going to be most effective.
What is it, Gibby, about left-handed batters that can have and have had success against left-handed pitching? Because you think that would be counterintuitive.
Well, I think the pure hitters, number one, they just have the ability to pick up the release point quicker. You can see Mauer a little bit open right there. He makes that little adjustment, keeps his eyes square. And it's a confidence thing, and he plays every day. So one of the main things, if lefties don't, as Mauer takes the walk, but lefties that don't play every day against lefties, you don't see them that many as it is. So it's much tougher to kind of perfect that craft.
Well, 2 on now with 1 out for Miguel Sano. Early scoring chance for Minnesota. Sano batting .277, his burst onto the scene, and is among the best rookies this year. 17 home runs and an even 50 RBIs for Sano. And Wolf missing inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Miguel Sano, it doesn't happen often or as often as it does with pitchers, but Sano had to have Tommy John surgery spring training of 2014, which slowed his progress a bit. But as we mentioned, he's gotten to the big leagues this year with really good numbers.
Well, he's got big levers, 6'4", with 250, 260. This guy's an athletic specimen. 17 home runs already, 50 RBI. If he gets a hold of it, it's going to go a long way.
He's only going to get better, too. He's kind of going through it right now. In his last 21 games, he has punched out 32 times, and the batting average is very low in the 220 range. But as you mentioned, Kirk, when he does get a hold of one, he can hit the ball as far as anybody in the American League. He's got that kind of pop in his bat.
Big swing there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The other thing is maybe a lot's been said about him on the way up, the talent that he is. Maybe rushed a little bit. And major league pitchers are going to find your weakness and make you make that adjustment. So it's you come up, you have some success, they make the adjustment against you. Now it's your adjustment period, and that's kind of where he is right now.
I've always found it fascinating for organizations on when they feel their prize prospects are actually ready to get to the big leagues. I mean, a guy like Correa came up, instantly has success. Lindor with the Indians was the guy that everybody talked about the last couple of years. When is he going to get to the big leagues? And apparently Cleveland waited just long enough for him.
I think it goes hand in hand with the kind of team that you have. When you have a real young player, sometimes you're a little reluctant into bringing them up into a situation where it might not be the best possible situation. So you send them to the minors. You let them get some more schooling.
Down he goes on strike 3. Second of the ball game for Randy.
He carved up Sano nicely, and it looks like Randy Wolf's going to use that slider at least early in the count to some of the young hitters to get him out. And then once they start looking for that breaking ball, he can just throw that fastball right down the middle when the hitter's looking for something soft and get away with an 86-mile-per-hour fastball.
You look at right there, got the fastball in, hit the target. McCann did not even have to move the glove.
So 2 on with 2 outs. And it's in there for a strike on Torrey Hunter.
You're talking about Lindor. The other thing is some organizations have needs. The prospects become depth. But overall, if you can wait for the right timing, as you articulated, Rod, I think you're in a better position. You rush guys. They better be tough. They better be thick-skinned, because there's a lot of failure to be dealt with along with the expectations.
And while we'll have a moment, I'll set the Tigers defensive alignment for you. It is brought to you by Beaumont Health. In the outfield, you got Collins, Davis, and Martinez. Wilson, Kinsler up the middle this afternoon. Castellanos and Victor Martinez on the corners. And Alex Avila is getting the start behind the plate today.
I know that Brad talked to Alex, being this would be his last home start of the year. And some, I guess, question whether he'll be back with the club. And, of course, Alex wanted to take the assignment behind the plate.
Line to right field. That is sinking and caught on the run by J.D. Martinez.
Torrey Hunter can't buy a hit against the Tigers this year.
No runs. They hit a walk. They strand 2. We go to the bottom of the first. There is Rajai Davis getting set to lead things off. Tigers starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. It'll be Davis, Kinsler, and Cabrera in your top 3 spots. It'll be Martinez at first today. JD is in right field. Castellanos at third. Collins, Avila, and Wilson the bottom 3, and they are facing the right-handed offerings of Irvin Santana.
Yeah, Irving on a roll in this last 5.15 ERA. Lots of strikeouts, and he used to be a fastball slider guy, throwing more curveballs lately. His command is way up. However, he does have a higher ERA on the road, so perfect for the Tigers to get him.
And he has a bright red glove that you can't miss. Strike 1 on Rajai Davis.
Is that red?
It is bright red.
He brought that over from the West Coast probably, huh?
Here's the ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Looks like they're going to have to slow him down today. He's working at a real crisp pace, even though he's only thrown a couple of pitches. He's grabbing that ball from Suzuki and getting right back on top of that rubber. Apparently, they've talked to him about his tempo.
Yeah, what do you think? I mean, I always try and tell the viewers that players enjoy a faster pace to play behind, and the game can drag that way.
The base hit to left field. Rajai will take the turn and hold up with a single.
Rajai Davis been getting busy the entire homestand. Let's take a look at the Minnesota Twins starting defense. It is brought to you by Tim Hortons. It's a fast one in center field and left field. That would be with Hicks and Buxton. Torrey Hunter still playing outstanding baseball in right. Escobar, he's up the middle with Dozier this afternoon. Edward Nunez, is the third baseman. Maurer first base. Kurt Suzuki catching all 3 of these games.
Well, the Bernstein advantage brings you the pitcher-batter matchup. How about Kinsler against Santana? .323 career.
He likes him.
And he looks at ball 1.
And Rajai Davis might be entertaining the thought of stealing second. Suzuki behind the plate doesn't throw very well, so it depends on how quick Santana is getting that ball to Suzuki.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try and slide step him.
Popped him up. First base side, Maurer coming over, staring into the sunlight, and Kinsler is out.
As many double plays as Miguel Cabrera has hit into this year, Santana really needs to concentrate on keeping Rajai Davis at first base.
Yeah, the Tigers in general, lots of double plays.
Suzuki had a difficult time looking up and finding out where this ball was. He had no idea. But Joe Mauer, he was able to find it.
It's very bright today. Always hard to see. Fans usually have bright colored shirts, and if there are seats that are not occupied, always shining.
Yeah.
Here is Cabrera batting .336. 17 homers this year. That is in there for a strike.
It's been a while since Miggy has homered. Miguel, the last week or so, has basically been hitting everything to right field, getting lots of base hits, but not demonstrating the kind of power that he demonstrated earlier in the season.
Yeah, he went through that 0 for 20 streak, and a good hitter, what they do, they try and go opposite, stay on the ball a bit longer, but it does compromise after a while.
107 consecutive plate appearances without a home run for Cabrera.
That would be considered a drought for Miggy.
And a throwback. Nine hits on the homestand for Miguel, who missed quite a bit of time this year with that strained calf. There's the ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the surface, when you see a guy with a strained calf, your mind tells you, well, that'll be a couple of days, but that's the farthest from the truth. I mean, those are serious injuries, and Miguel kind of went through that this year.
I think that if it doesn't hurt that bad and you continue to play on it, you have a chance to pop it, and then it turns into a 6 to 8 weeker. But sometimes you have no choice but to try and deal with it, and I think that's what Miggy's done even here as we get late into the season.
1 ball and 1 strike on Cabrera. And Santana delivers a strike, 1 and 2.
And Miguel Cabrera, because of the injury that Mario was speaking of, he's not going to drive in 100 runs this season, which means that for the first time in the last 12 years, he's not going to drive in 100, which is an amazing stat to me. 11 straight years he's driven in 100 runs, and he's hit 25 homers in all 11 of those seasons.
It's kind of like the hitter version of Justin Verlander, who's thrown 200 innings for how many years in a row, and that's not going to happen this year.
Total bases over 300 every season.
Hammer to center, base hit. Davis hits the bag at second. He'll stop there, and the Tigers have something going now.
Looks like Miggy got something off speed on the outside corner right here. Good length on this swing, stays with it off the end of the bat. Serves it right out to center field.
Tremendous concentration. Look at the head just stay still throughout the swing.
Yeah, if you compare him around the league game in and game out, he's Definitely a highlight video and an instructional video.
Victor Martinez playing first base today, stands in the cleanup spot. Victor was dropped to 5 in the lineup for a spell. JD was moved up, but now it's been flip-flopped again. 64 RBIs for Martinez. Ball 1. Teams love to play the shift on Victor, where they move the second baseman into short right field, but when you have 2 runners on, you're pretty limited in what you can do shift-wise.
You don't also want to invite Victor into just driving the ball the opposite way when there's a runner on second base, because we've well documented that Victor can do that. He's got a built-in swing that if he's trying to hit the ball to left field, unlike a lot of left-handed batters, he can do it. There are some left-handers that just cannot hit the ball the other way with aggressiveness, but Victor can when he tries to.
Yeah, and he has shown that he will do it. He'll take what's given to him. Here's a guy that hasn't lived up to what he did the previous years. So he understands, just take what they give you, and like you say, he has the ability to do that. Works on it in batting practice every day and implements it in the game.
Little game of cat and mouse there at second base. They were sneaking in behind the runner, and Santana was finally holding it too long.
Now, this might bode well for Victor Martinez, because obviously Santana has his attention divided between Rajai Davis and Victor, who's in that batter's box.
I'm not sure giving Victor half of your attention is a good idea. Rolled foul.
Rajai Davis is always a threat to run. Since the beginning of the 2008 season, there is no player in the American League that has stolen more bases than Rajai. He has stolen 295, and he hasn't been an everyday player, which is remarkable.
And with a great success rate as well.
I like to call him a bona fide thief.
With a smile on his face.
Yes, indeed.
Tell you, I really enjoyed covering him this year. Has a great attitude. No matter what the outcome is, leads his teammates to have an optimistic approach. Sits for 3-4 days in a row. There you see stolen bases since 08, 299.
The number I gave you was American League numbers. Michael Bourne leads the overall baseball in stolen bases.
But he does his homework. He understands when you can make it, when you can't make it, and he doesn't force it.
Skied in the air to left. Hicks going back to the warning track to make the catch.
We've seen Hicks play left field. We've seen Hicks play center field. We've seen Hicks in right field, and he handles himself very nicely in all 3 of those outfield positions.
Yeah, I think it's good when you're a player and you play all the positions. Helps you understand what the other guy's going through, the angles out there, and it makes your confidence level go up regardless of where you are.
Which outfield position did you enjoy playing the most, and did you play every outfield position in the big league?
I did, and I ended up liking right field because it was Tiger Stadium. It was a short porch. I didn't have a lot of room to cover.
You didn't want to run.
Well, I didn't want to throw. I liked to run, but my weakness of my game was my arm. So the Sparky moved me over there. It was a 90-foot throw to Lou Whitaker or Mr. Trammell or whoever the cutoff guy was.
Your job was done.
And it was done. And it actually made me better at hitting the cutoff man in the away ballparks. Just like JD Martinez has went over to right field, it's helped him tremendously. This year, you see his hands are great. He's getting comfortable with being on the left side of the diamond there. His throwing is much better. And you just, it takes you a while to figure out where you're best suited for. And part of it is you just get lucky and fall into where the team needs you. Other is they put you there because of things that they've noticed about your game.
Santana now with the 1-1. Bouncing ball foul, third base side.
Well, we were talking about JD Martinez in the defense, plays it off the wall there. Good throw into second base. Good strong throw. He gets his arm up top quick. Good eyes on the ball right there. Outstretched, ran right to the end. Of course, he's got Mr. K-Line to talk to on a daily basis. And I know that he's a student. Rod, you've walked by him. He's a pleasure to talk to. He wants to learn.
Yes, he does.
And JD went around, called out by home plate umpire Clint Fagan. So the Tigers threaten, but they'll lead 2, and we go to the second. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. Chrysler, celebrate 90 years of innovation. Get a great deal at the Chrysler Anniversary Celebration event. And by Mario Olives, taste the difference.
What kind of olives?
They're Mario Olives.
Got an olive named after him, Rod. How about that? It's special.
You didn't know you were sitting in front of the company of royalty, did you?
I didn't.
There are 2 guys in this booth, and I knew one of them was going to say something about Mario Olives, and I picked the right guy.
Is that a compliment? It's got to be, doesn't it?
It is, of course. Here's Nunez to lead it off as we go to the second. Nunez, Escobar, and Suzuki facing Randy Wolf, who threw 24 first-inning pitches, gave up a walk and a single, but no damage. Line to left field. That's going to get down, a base hit. Davis over to cut it off, and he'll hold Nunez to a single. Second straight inning with the leadoff man on for Minnesota. It'll bring up Escobar. Eduardo in the series, 2 out of 6. He has homered, he has tripled, and he has knocked in 4. Big game here for the Twins today as they try and remain alive in the wild card chase. Final week of the season is upon us.
And Dallas Keuchel is pitching for the Houston Astros today at home against the Texas Rangers, who they're trying to chase down again. And of course, Keuchel has been tremendous in his own ballpark.
Yeah, he's undefeated this year at home.
He is.
Struggled a little bit in his last couple games, but he's human.
Yeah, he got wore out against the Rangers.
And the Astros, big week for them.
Huge week.
Angels are right there too. The big series, Texas and the Astros just went on. That was a pretty good series. It's just good baseball going on all around baseball.
I thought Bud Selig, when he implemented the wild card, did a marvelous job with the first wild card. Then he implemented the second one, and
the chopper to third, right through Castellanos into left field.
He didn't know exactly how the second wild card was going to play out, but I have to admit that I kind of enjoy all the competitive baseball going on in different cities across the country. Castellanos just allowed this ball to play him, really. I mean, he goes over and then he starts to go back, and he's on his heels now, which means he cannot make an adjustment with the glove, and never actually got glove on that ball as it hit off the left knee and trickled between the legs.
Yeah, you have to either go after that ball right away or get the drop step right away. Didn't get a good read on it.
Once he started backing up on that ball and got on his heels, there was nothing he could do.
That is the 5th error the Tigers have committed in this series.
3 of those in one game, and they won that game.
That happens rarely. There's a strike called on Suzuki.
Got the bunt on. Tigers creeping in. Like do you ever do the early break from first base on this play, Ron?
Where
the teams you're on? Yeah, the first baseman right here. He breaks early and puts the pressure on.
So he'll bunt the ball down toward third base.
Yeah, or you make him swing the bat. You get right in there, put the pressure on him. It's much the same. You see guys bring infield way in early in the game. Mike Scioscia's somebody who did it to the Tigers when they were out here.
I think this works well when you do this kind of play right here. When you crash, when you have a pitcher that's in the American League that's bunting in a National League ballpark, you really crash the corner infielders, and then the hitters who are pitchers who don't hit all that often, they're forced into swinging, and they are not able to get their jobs done.
No sign of the bunt there. Rolled foul.
Did you find that it worked as well for you whenever you would crash that first baseman in American League ballparks against regular hitters too?
Regardless of where you do it, the whole key is that the pitcher throws a strike, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to get them to bunt the ball. You're trying to catch them off guard. If he throws the strike, pitcher comes in, the first baseman comes in. Sometimes you can put the wheel play on as well. You're going to third base, but if you keep putting the play on, they're going to maneuver their way out of it. You're going to be in trouble. People don't realize whatever bunt plays you put on, you want the guy to bunt the ball so you can get the out, especially if you're trying to get the out at third base.
Now the 0-2. Drilled to left field. That ball is going to drop. Base hit. Good read at second base by Nunez, coming around, and he will score, and Minnesota has taken a 1-0 lead.
A couple of bloop singles and then an error by Nick Castellanos.
Yeah, really didn't get that much of this pitch right here. I think he got jammed a bit. Nevertheless, muscled it out into left field, almost off the label. And the Twins go on to take a 1-0 lead.
That is the 4th hit of the series for Suzuki. He has picked up an RBI here, his 2nd of the series. In Minnesota, still nobody out. And now Byron Buxton stands in, and the corner infielder's coming in again.
And Byron Buxton batting 197 and really has had a difficult time of making contact since he's come to the big leagues. Therefore, he hasn't been playing every day.
Well, he hit .301 in the minor leagues in 4 seasons in the minors. So there is the ability to put the bat on the ball. But the difference in the big leagues, what do you think it is, the biggest difference?
Confidence, I think, in getting consistent reps, playing every single day, and knowing if you do go 0 for 4 or 0 for 8 in a couple of days, your manager's going to have you back out there the next day.
There's a base hit to left center field. That's going to get at least 1 run in. It's cut off by the center fielder Davis, and they will stop Suzuki at third. It's a double and an RBI for Byron Buxton.
Well, Randy Wolf throws this ball in there at 69 miles an hour, and you got to give Buxton credit. He stayed back on this pretty good. Big breaking ball. Stayed back on it, didn't get out front.
He can really run, though. Look at him glide, though, Gibby. They say he's an 8 runner. Now, you know the major league scale goes from 2 to 8, and they say that Buxton is every bit of an 8.
He glides, that's for sure. He's running faster than he looks even.
Man.
That's why it's important for him to learn how to make contact and use those wheels. Obviously, an advantage for him to be in center field as well.
Dozier fouls it away. So a single, an error, a single, and a double, and the Twins not only have a 2-0 lead, but they have 2 men aboard, nobody out. Dozier had a base hit back in the 1st inning. Last night, Dozier scored his 100th run of the year, which gives him back-to-back 100-run seasons. Actually, last year had 112.
Led the American League in runs scored last year, did Brian Dozier.
Tried to hold up, but he went.
And Wolf's had that real good breaking ball today, and that he's been able to bury down and into a lot of the right-handers. They haven't had very many comfortable swings against that breaking ball down and in against Randy so far today. Not on the breaking ball. They've hit some fastballs.
Seems like they're struggling more with the breaking ball today. If you take a look at which maybe we can get a shot of after this this pitch right here. You got a bright field, a bright pitcher, and then you look out into that backdrop, Rod. You have that dark backdrop. The shadow's kind of beginning. It just sometimes gives you a better look.
There's a backdrop out there that you try to get a good look at from there. Hope some help, you hope.
So it seems like the pitches, the breaking balls, maybe a little bit more effective. Not seeing the spin as much. The fastball staying straighter.
That is the first pitch that has missed the strike zone in this inning for Wolf.
Yeah, maybe too many strikes.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
37 total pitches, 27 strikes.
Especially if you're not overpowering. Top fastball, 88 miles an hour.
1-2 on Dozier. That's in the air down the right field line. Foul ground. Victor on the run. Out of play.
That's a tough play right there. If that ball stays in play from going into the stands, you're back to the diamond, looking up there at the high third level. The ball tends to come back from a right-handed hitter. You'd have to make a decision. Do you want to catch that ball? I think I'd catch it and take the out this early juncture of the game.
Line drive to left field. That's going to get down. That's going to get 2 more runs in. Buxton comes around to score along with Suzuki. Dozier takes the turn and holds with a 2-run double. And it's 4-0 Minnesota.
Well, we told you that Brian Dozier is a dead pull hitter, and when you get a hanging breaking ball, if you're Dozier up in the strike zone, naturally you're going to be out in front of it. And that breaking ball about 68, 69 miles an hour, and even though the ball was outside, Dozier was able to reach out and hammer it down the left field line for a double and a couple of stakes.
And we were talking in the first inning about the breaking ball they threw to Aaron Hicks down underneath the hands, breaking out of the zone.
Yep.
These breaking balls he's gotten hit this inning have been middle of the plate. The Twins have made him pay for that bad location.
4 runs on 5 hits now for Minnesota. Kyle Ryan has been summoned to the bullpen to start warming up. And the lefty will loosen as Aaron Hicks strolls in. Hicks a strikeout victim in the first inning, 0 for 1.
Yeah, I don't think you can let it go too much further right here. Even though you're in the second inning of the game, you have a full bullpen, you got plenty of length.
There's a base hit to left field. This might get another run in. Here comes Dozier around, and he is going to score. To second base goes Hicks. That ball was not cut, and Hicks takes the extra 90 feet. It's 5-0.
Bad that they get another run in here, right? But a mental error by Tyler Collins. You're not going to throw him out. You have a bobble out here. This ball's got to go into second base. Tyler overthrows the cutoff man, allows Aaron Hicks to glide into second base. Now you give up another hit. You've given him another run. Should be at first base in line for a double play.
And which Mauer has hit into 20 of this year.
Well, it's 5-0 and still nobody retired here in the second.
Even though the score is 5-0, Mauer will be trying to pull the ball towards second base. He'll be trying to get Hicks at least to third base with just 1 out, or he'll be attempting to drive him in. That's just the way that Mauer plays the game.
Kind of an old school guy still, isn't he?
He is. Plays the game the right way.
Grew up in the Minneapolis area, knows the Twins way. Twins have always been one of the more fundamental teams in the major leagues.
Yeah, that started back when Tom Kelly was their manager. He was a disciplinarian, got the most out of a young roster at that time. Ron Gardenhire took over. Now it's Molitor's turn.
Ooh, he struck him out swinging on 3 pitches. Down goes Mauer, and he's not able to, at the very least, advance the runner. Kind of a sarcastic cheer coming down from the stands now on the first out.
Not only is he busting a lot of the right-handers inside, but that ball right there crept in on Mauer off the plate inside, and Joe couldn't hold up on it. That's something also Mauer has done more this year than any other year in the big leagues. He has struck out a lot more.
been his most effective pitch, the fastball in the inside corner.
Yeah, he got away from it in this inning. He's been hurt.
Miguel Sano looks at ball one. 5 of the Twins' 6 hits in this game have come right here in the 5-run second. Two and 0. Got a couple of really young guys and really young prospects in this Minnesota lineup today, and Buxton, who's only 21, Sano is only 22, and here they are fighting for a playoff opportunity. But that's the way the game is going. A lot of young players have gotten to the big leagues quickly and are making an impact.
Seems like there is a new influx of youngsters coming in the Twins case, we have Paul Molitor, I think, the perfect teacher, perfect guy to bridge that gap from the minor leagues to the major leagues.
High fly ball down the right field line. Sprinting is Martinez. Will not get there.
Paul Molitor, he definitely knows the Twins way. He played for Tom Kelly. He coached for Ron Gardenhire. He has spent a lot of time in the minor leagues as well, whether it be base running, working with the young kids, whether he be working with the outfielders. He's been in their system for a long time. So a lot of the kids that are in the big leagues right now, he's also had in the minor leagues. So it was a smooth transition for Minnesota this year.
The other thing about Molitor, didn't they start 0-6?
Yeah, they started off bad.
And he just continued to fight their way back, stay with the program, and it's worked well.
This is going to send Martinez back. JD on the run to the corner. The runner will tag and move up to third base on the out of Sano. 2 away. Hicks now at third.
Yeah, it looks like a play. You see he's trying to catch it and make the reverse pivot right here.
Ooh.
Almost twists his ankle. Don't need that.
Yeah, he did twist it a little bit.
It buckled.
But I like seeing him try and do that reverse pivot right there. That's the proper footwork. Over the long haul, that'll save you.
Did you learn that in K-Line 101?
Absolutely. Did you ever go through K-Line 101?
Nope, never went through.
You were probably
no.
2 or 301. You're way ahead of me, weren't you?
No, I was right there with you. He was up in the broadcast booth the year I played with the Tigers. I didn't see him on the field that often.
That one just missed down the left field line. 0-1 on Torrey Hunter. Hunter flied out his first time. He's 0 for 1. 5-run second for the Twins. Little pop-up foul back out of play. It would have been perfect if Wolf pitched last night because we had a full moon out here at the ballpark.
Oh, you want to get into the moon stuff?
No.
We're going to get into the moon stuff. It's a big event tonight, you know.
Really?
What is it?
We're having a total eclipse on the equinox. That's called a blood moon. A full blood moon. I saw you guys talking full moon last night.
Full moon.
Roddy's doing his homework, huh?
That was the extent of it for me, though.
Yeah.
Mario threw me a layup.
I think. Oh.
Here's a base hit scoring another run as Hunter joins the party.
Boy, oh boy.
RBI single for Torrey. That'll make it 6-0, and it's going to bring Brad out to make a pitching change. So this one does not go well for Randy Wolf today. He will be knocked out in the second. Kyle Ryan will come in. Hunter has his 77th RBI of the year. And we have ourselves a wall-side windows pitching change. We'll be back to Comerica Park. Again tomorrow, the Tigers head to Texas. They'll take on the Rangers. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. with Tigers Live. The Tigers and Rangers tomorrow at 7 right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
That's a hungry Texas team down there. You better be ready. Bring your A game down there, huh?
That's right.
We'll be ready. They don't scare me. Here is Kyle Ryan now. He'll check in for the Tigers.
And Ryan is pitching in his 15th game this year in the Tigers uniform. He has a cutter. He has a slider. Four-seam fastball, tops out at about 90 miles an hour. He also throws a changeup.
No, he's been working a lot on throwing the ball to both sides of the plate as well. It's very important with the stuff that he has that he does so.
Eduardo Nunez singled to start this inning. 6 runs later, he is back up there again.
That mess up your scorebook early, wasn't it?
A little bit.
Mess yours up, Gibby. All you do is put C's down on your
C's and numbers.
That doesn't take much room.
It bothers him that I have my own system, Rod.
Nobody can figure out. Nobody can tell what you're putting down.
I told him you got to have code.
Exactly.
Any score sheet that needs a key is not a good score sheet.
Well, the key is in my mind.
Which
so
is
I
even
hold
more
the
dangerous.
key. Oh, boy, Rod, he's feeling good today. Look, he's jumping all over me.
Last home game of the year.
Must feel like because you're here, he feels secure. Are you going to get me or something?
Got that right.
I got his back.
Boy.
1 ball, 1 strike on Nunez. 2 outs in the inning and 6 runs in for Minnesota. Fouled away. Kyle Ryan in place of Randy Wolf. Ryan has done some good work, and he, of course, got an opportunity here because he was pitching very well down at AAA in the month of August. Overall this year, the number's not good in the minor leagues, but lo and behold, he gets to the big leagues and has turned things around nicely. Time call now as Nunez steps out.
I'd be excited if I got called up here. Plenty of opportunity on this Tigers team, certainly in the pitching department.
No doubt about that.
Pulled foul and a broken bat to go with it.
3/5 of the starting rotation for the Tigers had been lost at some point in time during the course of this year. And that would be Shane Green, who was sent down to the minor leagues really early because he was ineffective. Anibal Sanchez has missed some time. And of course, Justin Verlander missed the first couple of months of the season on the DL. So it's been a different year for Tigers fans.
And they traded David Price at the trade deadline.
Yes,
so you really got to look for people to fill the spots as you look to the future.
Ooh. Down goes Nunez, who is hit by the pitch, and that one is going to hurt.
Well, when you try and throw the ball inside, you have to get it inside. This one's a little too far inside. You don't want to leave it out over the plate. And you see he's on the side of the ball right there. Looks like a slider. Just can't get out of the way. That's gotcha.
Right off the right knee.
For many of these Tiger young pitchers, it's all from command. That's going to be the #1 key element. And that kind of goes back into the mechanics of your windup or your stretch movements. Good proper balance point, a way that you can find a consistent release point, and then you can work from there. Until you get there, you're going to have a hard time being successful in the big leagues.
Again, low and in, 1-0 on Escobar. Eduardo hit a ground ball right to the third baseman, Nick Castellanos, and this is probably a largely different inning if Nick is able to field that ball and turn the double play. That would have been 2 out, nobody on. Instead, 6 runs later, the Twins still batting. Pulled foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Everything that Ryan has thrown since coming into the game, and it's only a small sampling of 7 pitches, and most of those have been cut fastballs and sliders in on the hands of the right-handers.
Something down and away at the bottom of the zone. Hitters can get anxious when they get ahead in the count or even. He's got to be looking in there, so down the way, execute the pitch.
Swing and a miss.
He executed it beautifully, too. Real nice change piece with real nice action on it.
Now, for those viewers that can see that grip, just think of how tough it is to duplicate that release point with that grip consistently. That's very tough to do. It takes time.
That's in the air to right center field, and it's going to be caught on the run by JD Martinez. It hung up long enough for him. 6 runs on 6 hits, and 6-0 Minnesota. Hashtag Detroit Data Strong Fan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Last chance to see Tigers baseball at home this year. Plenty of kids out at the ballpark today.
Kids Day here today.
It is. And a lot of them taking advantage of it. Santana back to work with a healthy lead now, 6-0.
They're taking advantage of tweeting.
That I don't know.
Huh? A lot of tweeting going on. He's giving me an education this year on this tweet stuff. I know you're into it too, right?
I am into it. Yeah.
Rod, how many tweets do you think Gibby has all year?
That he's tweeted out himself?
Well, actually, not all year since he joined Twitter. How many do you think he has total?
Which is about, what, 3 years?
Yeah, about
Twitter?
3 years.
And 25.
7.
Is that it?
So how do you, in 3 years, what's that an average of, Gibby? Quickly, you're a numbers guy.
In 3 years, it's 2.3333 tweets a year.
Well, he must be using it for the advantage of getting the information.
Apparently, he's using it for something. 3 balls, 1 strike on Nick Castellanos.
I generally don't check it too often either, but he's been encouraging that, so we've been doing a little better job of that. It's amazing. You find a lot of courage out there, don't you?
Oh, jeez.
But it's good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great place to let it fly, I guess. Tell me how you really feel.
Some folks will tell you that.
Yeah, and some good stuff as well. Some good creative thoughts. I'll give them that. But we all have kids.
Too bad we didn't invent it.
Yeah, you're right.
Then I'd really be fond of it.
All the way to the bank. 3-2 is rolled, and a nice stab at third by Nunez to his feet to throw him out. 1 gone.
Looked like that ball may have taken a tricky hop on Nunez. He went over for it. Gonna leave his feet. The ball jumped up on him, so he had to throw his glove up while leaving the feet. It didn't take him long to get up, and then he made an accurate throw across the diamond, but he needed a little help from Joe Mauer over there on the bounce.
His glove was in good position to react to the bad hop. A little bit of top spin on it. You want to have that glove out to the side. You have real good reflexes out there. If you get your glove in front of you, it's much harder to react and make the adjustment.
Tyler Collins getting a start in left field today. His first at bat of the afternoon. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Tyler hadn't gotten many reps lately. And Rajay Davis has been getting the bulk of the playing time in left field the last few days.
Has he played enough, well enough, I should say, down the stretch in both of your eyes to get a good long look next year and maybe be in the big leagues at the start of the year?
I think he better be in shape coming to spring training. He's right there for me, but there are also others out there that are in his position and probably would like his job as well.
Kind of depends for me what Al Avila does in the offseason, whether he goes out and gets himself an everyday left fielder or whether they come in next spring with Collins as part of a platoon system with another right-handed batter. So I guess a lot depends on what Al Avila does, but he's definitely acquitted himself nicely in the big leagues as far as I'm concerned. Collins.
Didn't like this, froze on this inside pitch right here. Right there in the corner. Fox strikes, I think, says it was a strike. I've noticed that he's taken several pitches in there, maybe doesn't see that movement coming back over the plate. But you're going to have to make an adjustment. You get 2 strikes on, you got to try and foul that pitch off.
Here is Avila. 2 out of 7 on the homestand for Alex. And it's in for a strike, 0-1. Santana's trying to help pitch the Twins into the postseason. If they get there, he is not eligible to pitch in postseason play because of the suspension that he had earlier this year. But right now the Twins are hoping they can get in based on some of the help that Santana can give them.
I don't think the Twins have a off day, so this is including this game. I think they have 8 left, a game and a half back. See Los Angeles, the Angels right behind. They have not wavered one bit in their pursuit. Mike Trout, did you see that catch yesterday?
Oh my goodness, one of the best catches I've ever seen. That kid is remarkable, man.
The timing and the way he went up there on the wall and how high he went up there. Who else can do that?
And the way he pushed himself up with his right arm to elevate, and then he was up about 10 feet off the ground and he landed so softly. It was an amazing catch.
Yeah, we've watched other catches that he's made, but this one he just keeps getting better, and he's been really on a good roll here down the stretch for the Angels, trying to get that second wild card.
How come his name's never mentioned in Gold Glove conversation ever?
That is ripped into right center field, base hit. Maybe more. Alex rounding the bag, headed to second, and the throw is going to be late.
Look out, Alex. I see you.
2 out, 2 base hit for Avila.
Well, Alex does a good job here. Comes in 1 for 12 off of Santana. Battles like he always does. Gets a fastball out over the middle of the plate, and he's going all the way.
He loves that ball down and in. He ripped that ball into the gap.
Moving your arms, pumping your arms. Stand up double. 2 outs.
Now the number 9 hitter, Josh Wilson, will stand in. Wilson getting the opportunity to play short today.
That was right next door.
.296 for Wilson this year. There's a possibility that Iglesias could pinch run if needed. Still trying to figure out whether or not he'll be able to play the rest of the year in terms of swinging the bat. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Wilson with his 9th major league team. The Tigers are number 9. He spent 11 seasons in the big leagues. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's late back into the seats.
Here's this catch that Mike Trout made in last night's game. Amazing.
Strong man. Put pushed himself up. He got to be about 230, 240.
He is a big man.
Pulled himself up like nothing.
Looks like a fullback, likes to be playing on Sundays.
And Wilson strikes out swinging to end the inning. 3 strikeouts for Santana. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Detroit Tigers full and partial season ticket plans. Call 313-471-BALL today or visit tigers.com. Glorious afternoon here in the Motor City. Tigers wrap up the home season here today. 71 degrees right now and nothing but sunshine. Kyle Ryan goes back to the hill as we go to the third. It is 6-0 Minnesota. And Ryan delivers strike 1 on the outer edge.
There's that pitch you were talking about, Kurt, the cut fastball that Ryan started off the plate, and the natural cutting action on the pitch because of the way he was gripping the ball allowed it to catch the outside corner.
He'll dart in for a strike. 0-2.
I think he looks like he'd have trouble throwing this ball straight, Kyle Ryan. So again, just have to learn how to. The good pitchers, it's just merely adjustment with the wrist, the finger pressure, with the same release, coming out of the same spot.
Right.
That's very hard to do, but the good ones, that's what they do. You just cock that wrist maybe 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch. That determines whether it cuts or whether it is a slider or a curveball.
And Suzuki takes it high and away. He had an RBI single in that 6-run second. He's got 6 runs on 6 hits. Byron Buxton waiting on deck. Here's the 2-2. That's in the air to shallow left. Wilson going back. Davis coming in. Rajay calling.
You know, we talk about all these
Collins rather.
These young pitchers. They all are in the minor leagues as starters because they're trying to get the repetition down there to figure out the things that we've been talking about throughout the game. And then they come up here and they're coming out of the bullpen. It's a totally different environment. They're off the 5-day schedule, number one. They're in the bullpen. The phone rings. Is it me? Is it not me? Am I coming in a clean inning? Do I have 2 guys on base? Do I need a double play ball? So, again, this is good experience for anybody who wants to be a part of this team next year.
I think Drew Verhagen has done a marvelous job. Started by trade in the minor leagues with the Tigers. But this year when he came to the big leagues, they put him in the bullpen because that's where they felt they had a need. And, man, has he done marvelous work out of the bullpen.
He has tall, got good angle.
He's made the transition very easy.
75% ground ball rate, which is as high as you could ask for. Not many guys are up there in the 70%. 45% is the major league average. And then he gets the strikeout stuff down. Now that's a real weapon. That's the guy you want to bring in the middle innings. A couple guys on base, comes in, gets the ground ball, you get the double play. That's a piece that fits if he can continue to do that.
Swing and a miss, and Buxton is out of there. 2 gone. Time for a game break now. Trevor Thompson. All right, Trev, thanks. Here's what the East looks like. Toronto 4 up on those New York Yankees.
Blue Jays are going to have 2 guys with 40 home runs this year. And Bautista has 39 now and has simply been on fire in the month of September. And of course, Donaldson already has 40.
One of them an MVP?
Donaldson for sure.
You think he'll get it over Trout?
I do, absolutely.
Just really offensively, pretty much at the top in most of those categories. Gold Glove, third baseman.
Trout, first 4 months of the year probably would have won the award, but the last 6 weeks he's done okay, Trout, lately. But Donaldson, he hasn't come back to the pack.
And how do you like Toronto? How far can they go?
Whew.
Haven't been to the playoffs since '93.
Depends on Stroman for me. Marcus Stroman's going to be a key piece for them. How he does after David Price.
By the way, your Trout Donaldson argument, if you want to look at WAR, they're separated not by much. Trout 8.7, Donaldson 8.5. So, you know, those guys are both superior defenders too.
That begs to my question that we had earlier. Why does not Trout get any consideration for Gold Glove?
You're asking the wrong guy. That is a good question. And we see many of the great plays he makes. I think that graded over a period of time, maybe he doesn't get to the amount of balls that we think he should or does.
Dozier pops up to end the inning, and we go to the bottom of the third. Sale now. Play ball with Tigers greats in Lakeland, Florida. The camp includes a salute to Jim Leland and the 2006 American League champions. For more information, call 313-471-2550 or visit Tigers.com for more info on the Winter Fantasy Camp.
Rated one of the best at the Tigers Fantasy Camp.
Oh, it's been that way for a long time.
Good crowd today. Humperdinck, Jim Leland going to be down there this year. And amazing, a lot of the campers go every year.
Jerry Lewis does a marvelous job with the fantasy camp.
You been down there to the fantasy?
Several times. I enjoy it. I really have a good time down there.
Always, you want to compete, you want to get in there, though. You just worry about blowing something out. You know?
I'm not going to blow nothing out.
You're going to stay in easy mode?
Slow motion.
You got to run hard to blow something out.
like Gates Brown used to say.
High fly ball into left field, playable for Aaron Hicks.
I got to hear this.
When the when you assemble at the fantasy camp on Sunday, when everybody's there's like an orientation, and Jerry Lewis kind of starts off the orientation, and then all of us get a chance to say something. All the former Tigers get a chance to say just a few quick words. And the one thing that Gates Brown used to always talk about to the campers, he used to tell them, you're not going to be in the big leaguers, so I want you to start off fast and then taper off.
Good advice. So start out slow and get slower.
He said start off fast and then you taper off.
I know what he said, but they're not fast to begin with.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Gator,
I miss Gates.
He had a lot of them. Yeah, I miss him too. He used to be my hitting coach.
Kinsler is 0 for 1. He'll pull that one to the shortstop. Right there is Escobar.
What did Gates tell you? The same thing he told Lou Whitaker, sit and turn.
Oh, yeah, spin on that back. Now, you were a hitting coach. What was your philosophy of hitting coach?
It was a little different in my era. I mean, it was a lot of tee work. It was some soft toss work. It was different things like that. Not so much just batting practice all the time. A lot more touch and feel. Wasn't a lot of video when I was a minor league hitting coach, but it's evolved in quite a position these days. But there's a lot more information that goes into being a hitting coach these days.
Yeah, you got to throttle the information down to simplify it. It's a real physical job for the hitting coaches. They have a hitting coach and an assistant coach on most teams, but very demanding. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
I mean, those guys. I mean, these players come in. They hit when they come in. They hit before BP. They hit before the game. Some hit during the game.
Yeah, sometimes you got to lock the cage to keep them out of there.
0-2 on Miguel Cabrera. It is 6-0 here in the third. Minnesota in the lead as Santana misses high, 1-2.
They've been throwing a lot of fastballs right by Miguel in this series, and Santana reached back to get a little extra there with that last fastball at 95 miles an hour. It's the best one he's thrown all afternoon.
Yeah, we noticed last series it appeared that Miggy was a little long, had a little more length to his swing than normal. And he's human. He's going to go through it as well. Back's been a little stiff as of late, so things aren't quite as good as he would like them, but still in the lineup on pretty much a daily basis.
Backswing might have caught the catcher Suzuki. Actually fouled it off. Ooh, caught him pretty good. Cabrera making sure he's all right.
That stings a bit.
Here's the 1-2. Off the inside part of the plate, 2-2. 2 out, nobody on. Third inning in the final home game for the Tigers. We will close out in Texas and then Chicago next week. Oh, another one off the Suzuki. Drilled him again.
And this time Clint Fagan is going to give Suzuki a little extra time to gather himself.
Yeah, he's trying. Doesn't happen very often when you get 2 in a row. That's a solid contact there. If you're not awake, you will be.
On both sides of the mat.
You ever catch it all?
Never. I stayed away from that catcher's gear.
Not even in the bullpen.
Never.
Oh my goodness! Not again.
Yeah, that one there.
Wow.
That's
he's catching for the third consecutive day as well. Minnesota's trying to get into the playoffs for the first time in a long time. Usually your veteran catchers don't catch 2 night games in a day game, but he's back out there today. That one off the right shoulder.
You see that little pad right there? That's his throwing shoulder pad. They like to have that pad so their throwing arm is free and easy. Catchers are tough. They don't like to show that it hurt.
After that last foul, Mickey kind of pointed to the Twins dugout. You might want to sit the rest of this one out.
Is he flinching? Did he flinch?
He did flinch. This turned it into a pretty good at bat.
Somebody's going to get it.
Oh, look at that.
See that umpire, Clint Fagan, that arm out there. Umpires they get beat up pretty good too. You want to hide those arms, it seems like, but it's just a matter of habit. They all put them arms out there. You can't have everything hidden. You have to be comfortable and able to see the ball and call a strike.
And the battle continues.
We better watch it up here. Everybody's getting it.
Mario, protect us.
Well, we've had conversations about what's going to happen. Have you had one up here?
I can't remember a ball up here. If any, it's been one or two over the 13 years I've been broadcasting. Can you remember any Mario up here in the booth?
Just the one that exploded my headsets a couple of years ago. One that came straight back and just blew my headsets up.
Good AB. Mickey gets the walk.
It's a great at bat.
Good start for the Tigers right here. Vmart can make that 2-out walk hurt.
It was a 12-pitch at bat for Cabrera.
And it started out no balls, 2 strikes.
Not quite as long as the 14-pitch at bat that Rajay had the other night, but still up there. Victor is 0 for 1 with a fly ball to left. Ball 1 missing outside. 6 runs, 7 hits for Minnesota. No runs on 3 hits for the Tigers today. Two and 0.
Looked like Victor looking for something middle third in. Didn't even flinch at that pitch right there on the outside part of the plate. If you're a hitter, that's what you want to do here. Down 6-0. Ahead in the count, you want to look for something in your sweet spot. Try and drive it out of the ballpark. Take everything else.
That ball driven. Left center field. Hit well. Buxton is on the run. Man, can he go get it.
There's that speed.
He's got long strides, doesn't he?
Galloping.
Byron Buxton runs it down. Still a 6-0 ball game at the ballpark. At Comerica. And for Minnesota, Aaron Hicks will start things off. Hicks, Mauer, and Sano facing lefty Kyle Ryan. Randy Wolf had to depart in the second. He was knocked out of the game when they scored 6 runs on 6 hits. Got a doubleheader going out today. Tigers today, Lions tonight. Right across the boulevard. There's a ball outside to Hicks.
It's nice when you have the facilities like this, the towns that we travel around to, but not when you're a part of both activities in one day. It's pretty crazy, pretty crowded down here.
Pull down the left field line.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of folks downtown this afternoon and going into tonight. Football fans probably already out there tailgating. It's a beautiful day for it.
Yeah, when I came in at 9 o'clock, they were already starting the real diehards.
Ooh.
Here's the 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike on Aaron Hicks. Single to drive in a run back in the second. The 2-1 pitch is drilled to right field. That's another hit for the Twins, a leadoff single.
Pretty good job of hitting right there. Just takes what's given to him. Ryan going down and away.
Immediately following every game, tune into Lions Live right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Max Shepard, Mickey York, Rob Rubik. They've got it all covered.
No pressure on the Lions, isn't there?
It is.
They've got some tough opponents coming up. I mean, after this game, they've got Arizona. They've got the Seahawks coming up next.
You don't want to go down 0-3.
At Seattle?
At Seattle.
Ooh.
Tough place to play.
A little noisy there.
Kind of. Joe Mauer standing in. Strikeout and a walk. Ball missing outside, 1-0. Rangers already have a 1-0 lead on Dallas Keuchel today in Houston. That game just underway in the first.
Well, with that offense that Houston's got, you're going to take more than one. They can hit that ball out of the ballpark. Athletic team.
Yeah, nearly 50% of their runs are home run balls.
Strike out a lot. Also, that was something that was questioned earlier in the year and has kind of come back to bite them a little bit. But when they start scoring, they can score them in bunches.
Nice vantage point.
Do you guys remember a September where the weather this late was as nice? I mean, this is summerish here.
It really is. Very enjoyable today, and I cannot remember any Septembers this nice.
We're up to 73 now. Here's the 2-1. Bouncer back to the mound, should be 2. Ryan to second, 1 in the relay. Another double play, bounced into by Joe Mauer.
That is 21 double plays now that Mauer has grounded into. And take a look at Ryan and how cool, calm, and collected he was after the one hopper. Took his time. He waited for Wilson to get all the way to the bag. Then he gave him a nice feed and a firm feed, which meant that the base runner Hicks could not get close enough to Wilson. Disrupt his throw going back across the diamond.
Like, the biggest key is getting your feet around so the arm can make a good, accurate, straight throw. It looked like he moved off to the side of the mound there just a little bit. Nicely executed. You know, they start in spring training with plays like that. You don't think about it, but if you're in the World Series and you're making that play, it's a little different. So to do it properly is still important.
1 ball, 1 strike on Miguel Sano. Strikeout and a flyout. Back to monitor, 2-1.
When Kyle Ryan came in, they had damage. It was a little differently. We were talking about you're a starter, now you're coming in and out of the bullpen. Last inning, he had a clean inning, came in 1, 2, 3. Leadoff hitter gets on this inning and gets the double play. So that's good resource management, let's call it, so far in this appearance.
And the one thing about Ryan, as long as he's out there and he's being effective, Brad can use him for 5-6 innings this afternoon. He's already been stretched out.
2-2 on Sano.
Generally, when you take a pitcher out early from a manager's perspective, you'd almost like to switch it up. It's generally the lineups are built against a left-handed pitcher today. So if you had a righty, you're going pretty much righty on right. But Kyle Ryan doing a good job staying with the left-hander. That makes sense?
Yeah, I understand exactly what you said. Otherwise, I mean, if you had a right-hander, say Buck Farmer was stretched out. you might want to go to Buck Farmer because of the lineup Molitor had was a predominantly right-handed lineup.
Right.
JD Martinez will get things started for the Tigers in the bottom of the fourth. Martinez will lead things off, and Rod, he was one of your big surprises this year.
Well, he really has been tremendous this year. You didn't know exactly what you would get out of JD Martinez coming into this year after he performed so well last year when opposing pitchers would pay more attention to him. But he's been on point all year. He's really only had one bad stretch where he was 0 for 26, but other than that, he's been the most consistent offensive performer for the Tigers this year in the power department.
Santana goes to work, and JD hits one foul back out of play.
Yeah, I think the big thing with JD is just being around him, watching his routine. Great guy to talk to. I asked him one day how good does he want to be, as I think he has the ability. I think there's a much higher ceiling, but the discipline he shows at the plate in the game. Always has that same approach, standing in the middle of the field. There's a breaking ball there. He generally pulls those, but that's a good at bat. I mean, you're only trying to have good at bats. You can't control sometimes whether you get a hit out of the park or you're going to get a base hit. I think JD understands that. He sticks to it, and that's why I think you're seeing an emerging player, not only last year, but this year and in the future.
A lot of people forget that JD Martinez has played in more games this year than any other year in the big leagues, but he's handled himself very nicely down the stretch.
There's Castellanos. Nick shoots this one to right field. Torrey Hunter moving over, and there are two gone.
It seems to me that JD's gotten more athletic too, doesn't it? It seems like he's moved better, and he kind of reminds me a little bit to a Paul Goldschmidt when Goldie first came up. Kind of how he kept working on his athleticism, off the field. Started to move better on the bases, better in the outfield, better balance. They work on their core strength a lot, their stretching, their flexibility. It just kind of plays into a more consistent play throughout the year.
Good teammate. He's the kind of guy you want to manage. He's the kind of guy that you want on your team, a guy that's going to give you that kind of effort every single day.
150 games plus. Can continue to do that as well as he takes care of himself.
High fly ball to left field, hit pretty well. That ball going to the track and to the wall, and it's going to be off the top of the wall. Collins on his way to second base, and he'll pull in there with a double.
Looked like Hicks got back there in a timely enough manner to make a real nice catch, but looked like he misjudged it.
Yeah, maybe got lost on the wall a little bit. We know how hard it is when you get back there to that wall. You got to know where you're at.
Oh, right off the glove.
Sure was.
And really didn't have to jump for that ball, to be honest with you. All he needs to do is take one or two more steps.
You see,
but he didn't know where the wall was.
Yeah, he's thinking, where's that wall? He's kind of peeking a little bit.
Yep.
That's a bad feeling when you're trying to catch the baseball.
Looking for the wall. and peaking at the same time. Not a good combination there.
Were you taught, Rod, to go out before the game and count the amount of steps?
Yep, absolutely. From the time your feet went from the grass to the gravel or the warning track.
Generally around 3 here, I'd say it looks like. So you know after 3 you're getting close to the wall.
Exactly. That's old school stuff there.
Well, we're old.
Oh, okay.
Especially me.
Avila waiting on the 0-1. Couldn't hold up. 0-2. Two-base hit for Alex. That was back in the second. Tigers now have 4 hits. That, by the way, was ruled a double for Tyler Collins. Santana's kept him off the board so far. If you tuned in late today, you missed most, if not all, the scoring. 6-run second inning for Minnesota, and so far it has held up.
Yeah, Randy Wolf just didn't have it this afternoon. It was a costly error, though, by Castellanos in the very first inning, but Randy Wolf was not missing many Minnesota Twins bats while he was out there today.
Just off the plate, Santana thought he had strike 3.
And Santana can go a couple different ways now. He can simply go back outside with another firm fastball in the mid-90s. He's got a good one today, or he can try to bury that slider down and into Avila, which is exactly where he went on the very first pitch of this at-bat.
Three and two.
Looked like he went change up there.
Amazing how many times Avila gets to a full count.
Got a good eye. Always has had a good eye.
Here's the 3-2 pitch.
Pretty much guarding against the off-speed pitch here, Rod, and being fouling off the fastball or being able to hit the fastball if he gives you one down the middle.
I'm looking for the ball first and foremost. I'm anticipating that it's going to be a fastball, but in the back of my mind, I'm also ready for something off speed.
Letting it travel a little more.
Absolutely, not trying to be the aggressor here. If he makes a mistake, I'll hit it hard. If he makes a good pitch, I'll just simply try to foul it off.
Toward left field, hit well. Hicks on the move to the warning track, reaching for the wall this time, and he'll make the catch. No runs, a double, one left. On our way to the 5th. Period. Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. Sunday Kids Day at the ballpark today. The Tigers and the Minnesota Twins wrap up this 3-game series. All Minnesota so far, and it is 6-0 for the Twins. It'll be Torrey Hunter to start things off, facing Kyle Ryan, who had to come on in relief in the second of Brandy Wolf. Hunter has an RBI single and 2 at-bats. And he'll take strike 1. 6 runs on 8 Twins hits, no runs on 4 hits for the Tigers. Hunter swings and misses 0-2.
Good breaking ball there thrown by Ryan. Maybe the best breaking ball he's thrown today. Look at the depth on this pitch.
Good speed variation, took a lot off it. Ball still went down. That's what you want. You want that depth.
Wilson with the running scoop, and he gets Hunter by a step. 1 away here in the 5th. Here's Eduardo Nunez. Nunez on base twice in that 6-run second single, hit by a pitch. Batting .274 on the year. That is drilled to left field, base hit. Second hit today for Nunez, 1-out single. And now Escobar. Twins now have 9 hits already.
Got their hitting shoes on this afternoon.
Yeah, they're ready early, aggressive early in the count. Everything's falling for a base hit. Even the balls they're not hitting solidly. Sometimes you have those days.
Escobar career high in homers and RBI. There's a ball outside. Well, we talked about the Tigers and their bullpen this year, and it certainly was an issue. I mean, to be honest and to be fair, everybody knows it's been an issue. But when you look forward toward next season, you see that Wilson certainly could be an integral part. Blaine Hardy can be an integral part. A little righty-lefty combination there. That's a ball high, 2-0. So there are some pretty good pieces, and you guys talked about Verhagen as well.
Yeah, I think Blaine Hardy, he's been interesting to watch him. I think he's had 60 innings pitched this year, 39 last year for the Tigers. I think he's run out of gas a little bit. The first thing you want to watch for a pitcher when he's starting to run out of gas is the command and the location. He came out early out of the bullpen, had very good location with the fastball. His breaking ball was excellent. Now I see the location with the fastball not quite what it was earlier when he came up, and the breaking ball also. The other teams, they know that he's going to throw it, so it's more important to throw it in a certain position to draw the swing or the out, and has been unable to do that.
And same thing could be said for Wilson, who also has had a really nice year, but he has appeared to tire down the stretch because Brad has had to lean on those two guys so much this season.
Yeah, he really has, and I know we were on a road trip, I think it was Toronto, and I walked in the clubhouse and I noticed that Alex Wilson had heat pack on his arm more than normal. And that, again, these are things that you do. Some guys fight their way through it, and I talked to him and he said, yeah, you got to suck it up. He didn't feel he was injured. He was fatigued. Others will shut it down, but he's not one of them. And frankly, you need the guys who are going to fight through it. Alex Wilson, I mean, he's pitched in every situation. He started a game. He's come in middle, long, closed some games. Got a pretty much fastball cutter guy, and working on that cutter with a little more depth on it as of late. But a guy that's durable, can take the ball, will take the ball, can throw 3 games in a row, day off, come back if you need him.
Yoenis Cespedes got all the attention when they made the trade with the Boston Red Sox and sent Porcello to Boston, and Wilson was basically just a throw-in. But Wilson has pitched so well that there's no doubt that he is in the future of the Tigers going into 2016. It just kind of depends on how that bullpen kind of shapes out for Brad.
I think that the key for a guy like Alex Wilson, who you know what you got this year, he could pretty much go anywhere, but I think if you can assign him a role, it'll be even more effective. So you can get in a position, like you said, where you don't have to pitch him in somebody else's role. I think you'll get the durability and the sharpness and the crispness later in the year next year if you can do that.
That's one of the things the Tigers really weren't able to do all year, other than early when Soria was their closer. A lot of roles down there just weren't defined this year for Brad.
Yeah, most of it was who's available.
Runner breaks to third. The throw, the tag, and safe at third base.
That is the second steal of third possibly in the last couple of days against Tigers pitching. Aaron Hicks stole third base last night with Alfredo Simon on the mound, and he went from a standstill position, which is usually not the way that you steal third base. Usually you've got some momentum getting you started toward that next base, but he went from a standstill position and was successful doing so.
Castellanos was pretty adamant about looking at this, feeling that perhaps he came off the bag.
I think he did.
Well, it looked like he wiped his hand off the bag to me, though. Pushed him off the bag, so to speak.
Well, an old trick too, Rod, as you know, is after a visit against a left-handed pitcher, many times that's when some of the real good base stealers, they go. Because your mind's on what your pitching coach just told you. You're in a little bit of trouble. You lift the leg, and they're on their way.
Nunez now 9 of 10 in his major league career in steals of third base.
First and third, one out. 0-1 the count on Kurt Suzuki.
The good thing about that for the Tigers, the trail runner did not run. Double play is still in order. If you're going to do that, I guess finished product, if you're the lead runner, you have to communicate with the trail runner somehow to let them know that you're going to go, that they must follow.
Farrell warming up in the Detroit bullpen. The 0-2. Popped up. See if it stays in play. Victor. Nice play up against the railing. 2 gone.
Tough play right there. High sky, no clouds in it. Got to get over to the gate over there. Ball's going to be coming back. She gets a good look right here at the fence in the stands. Watches it in the glove. Nice play.
The key is taking your eye off the ball momentarily to see exactly where you are on the field, if you're going to run into that railing or not, and then being able to find the baseball again. And Victor did a very nice job of that.
Here is Byron Buxton with 2 outs. Ball 1 inside. Is there a better name in the game right now than Byron Buxton?
Byron Buxton.
Great name.
Byron Buxton. It's the competition. You know what it's time for.
What? Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fly ball. Left center field. Collins and Davis. Who wants it? Rajay does. And that is that. For the Twins, Tigers baseball here this afternoon, presented by Bell Tire. Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's Steak and Egg Burritos. That's coming up after the telecast here today. The Tigers need to get the bats going. 6-0 in favor of the Twins on a spectacular day for baseball here in downtown Detroit. First one is skied in the air off the bat of Josh Wilson, right at Torrey Hunter. One pitch, one out for Santana.
Tigers have been swinging very early and often against Irvin Santana here today, and they've had very little success when doing so.
Yeah, not many balls on the ground. Most of them are fly balls as well. And Irvin Santana is in mid to late season form right now, throwing the ball very well. Fastball command is outstanding, mixing in the slider and the off-speed pitches as well.
And Santana had a real rough month of August. And then there was an adjustment made along with pitching coach Neil Allen on his landing spot, and also making sure that his shoulders, that front shoulder at least, stayed toward home plate a little bit longer. And once he made that adjustment, he has been outstanding, winning the majority of his starts lately. Something else that Neil Allen is a huge proponent of, their new pitching coach. He's a huge proponent of the changeup. A right-handed pitchers throwing that changeup to the right-handed batters. That's one of the things he's been preaching all season to all of his pitchers.
Yeah, right on right change.
Yep.
Not very often, but one of the reasons they like it, if you locate it well, many times that pitch will get fouled off, but it's a foul ball, pulled foul, still no balls on strike. Curveball there puts him away. Take a look at Irvin Santana's numbers after 0-1. Opponents average 194. After 1-0, 323. So, I mean, that's pretty universal around the Major League Baseball, but not to that extent. See all the other numbers follow.
And so far today, Irvin is 12 of 19 in first pitch strikes.
Santana pitched for the Angels for 8 seasons, in fact over 8 seasons, was 96 and 80 out on the West Coast. Pulled to third base, right there is Nunez. And that'll be a 1-2-3 inning. 5 in the books. We go to the 6th. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, Kirk Gibson with you in the booth here this afternoon. The Tigers falling behind Rod early in this one. Randy Wolf just did not have it this afternoon. The Twins took advantage.
No, they really did. He made some mistakes over the heart of the plate in that one inning, which was the second inning where he gave up a huge crooked number. There was a huge error, so he just gave up too many runs here today.
Yeah, couldn't shut him down after that. And 3 kids at the ballpark right here. Good to be with you guys today. Thanks for sharing your booth.
Well, it's been a great season with you guys. We really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. Of course, the Tigers have 6 more to go after this one is complete. They'll finish out the season on the road. We thought we would end the season, the home season that is, the way we began it, with a 3-man booth. Brian Dozier is leading things off here in the 6th inning. Dozier, Hicks, and then Mauer. That is rolled foul to third base. Dozier, a 2-run double. He also has a single. He got 75 RBIs, which is a career high for Dozier.
Kyle Ryan, so far so good, 3 1/3 innings. No runs, a couple of hits, strikeout, did walk 1, but settled in nicely after he came in that trouble in the first inning, in the second inning for Randy Wolf. And he gets Dozier on a high fastball. We're talking a little bit about the elevation of the fastball, and this is to perfection. You get ahead in the count, players get more aggressive. They tend to be late. That's up and away, good location.
Yeah, they've been attacking Dozier up at the top of the strike zone the entire series. Ryan threw 91 pitches on Monday. He pitched in one of those double headers against the Chicago White Sox, so he's stretched out, and Brad can leave him out there as long as he's effective today.
Wonder what Brad's mindset is it to get him as deep as he can into this game, or is it to him to test another one of his bullpen arms down there and put him in a roll?
You mean as far as Ryan is concerned, or somebody else?
Yeah, how far you let Ryan go, and maybe you go to another pitcher to just put them in a specific situation, as opposed to, it's almost like they're treating Kyle Ryan as a starter right now, although we do have somebody up in the bullpen right now.
That is Farrell, the right-hander.
I think Brad will probably take the liberty the last week of season, maybe, putting some guys in different situations, anticipating that might be the role they'll play in the future.
Three balls, 1 strike. Aaron Hicks with 2 singles and an RBI in this game. And he lost him. It'll be a 1-out walk. Game break time. Trevor Thompson. All right, Trev, yeah, it is a big one indeed. As you look at the wild card, the Astros trying to hold on to it. The Angels suffered a big injury, though. A Houston Street, their closer, was hurt. So that could certainly affect the Angels, who are a half game out of the wild card.
Well, that's where your depth comes into play. And if you look around, there's major injuries really around baseball at this time of the year. You play so many games, you're traveling around, you get fatigued, and you're more susceptible to injury. Guys are laying it all on the line right now, trying to get to the playoffs, get into the postseason.
And I think a lot of times, Gibby, as well, you get managers that'll put their players in positions they wouldn't put them in, like in May or June. You've got to win games now, so you might bring that closer in for a 4 or 5 out save.
Yeah, and the players in general want to be into the game right now. I mean, look at St. Louis. They've lost pitcher after pitcher. Martinez appears to be shut down for the rest of the year. Maybe some postseason. Adam Wainwright, is he ready to come back? I mean, you have to. You got to constantly be working on your depth. In St. Louis's case, they've got some very good, experienced arms to do so, that know how to throw less than 100%.
Yeah, St. Louis has also lost their catcher in Yadier Molina.
And he's probably one of the most important pieces
in the game.
Ripped right to first at Victor. Step on the bag for a double play. Smoked that thing right at Martinez.
The second double play that Mauer has hit into today, and that one was absolutely scalded.
Offer trips to Lakeland, Florida, featuring exclusive team meet and greet opportunities and much more. For more information, visit tigers.com/vacation. If you have not yet been to Lakeland, Florida to see the Tigers play in spring training, you might want to put that on your list. 6-0 is our score. Twins on top. And the Tigers batting against Irvin Santana here in the bottom of the 6th.
I've heard they're going to do some remodeling.
Yeah,
to the spring training facility. The locker room's a big-time weight room. They're going to make it a really nice place.
You always have to compete against your opponents.
Yep.
And the Tigers facilities from when we played there, I mean, are very nice right now. But they're going to redo the minor league facilities, I believe. Integrate that in with the major league facility.
Well, the ones in Arizona, man, they've been building cathedrals out there the last number of years.
They have. Very nice out there, a little different, so they got to compete with that. They don't want to lose any teams from Florida to Arizona any more than they already have.
Spring training has to bring, well, a huge boon to the economy in Florida. I mean, people coming down from the north and all over the country to watch their favorite teams. Here's the 2-2. Back to him out of there. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
It's always a wonderful time of year. Yeah, it's one of those times where you can get really up close and personal to the players. It's a lot more fan friendly in spring training.
And a lot of optimism around the ballpark.
And he lost him, ball 4.
Here's our high-speed pitch, and it is brought to you by Xfinity. 96 has been the top fastball so far thrown by Irvin Santana this afternoon. He's gone as low as 80 miles an hour with an off-speed pitch.
Pretty much in control so far in this game for Irvin Santana.
His only 2 base on balls of the day, however, been to Miguel Cabrera. That's a shocker.
Yeah. Even amazing when a guy's not really on top of his game like he has been in the past. Still lots of respect to go around.
Yep.
Santana, native of San Cristobal in the Dominican Republic. Pretty good basketball player when he was a kid as well. In fact, his buddies used to call him Magic because he used to do some fancy stuff on the court.
After Magic Johnson?
Yeah, Magic Johnson.
Not quite as tall, is he?
No, nor as big, but he could play some hoops.
Notice the Tigers got their little hoop up in the clubhouse. You ever get on that, Rod?
Nope, I never got on that. They have some fun down there, though.
They do. Pretty high competition from day to day.
Here's the 2-0. Pulled on the ground to second. It has double play written all over it. 4-6-3. 2 gone in the Tigers' 6th.
Santana got behind in the count right there. Got a ball on the outside part of the plate. Victor, being the pull hitter he is, right to the second baseman Dozier. I think that's something looking forward to the future of the Tigers. They have hit into a lot of double plays. Can you do something about it? I know when I was a manager, you're always thinking, you can change your lineup, you can put guys in motion more often. But how can you address that situation? That's something I think the Tigers have to think about a bit.
Well, I just think that Miggy and Victor and guys like JD Martinez, even Castellanos to a certain extent, those guys that aren't particularly fast, guys that take bigger swings, they're going to hit into quite a few double plays. I don't know what you could do to prevent yourself from hitting into some, other than maybe starting a runner or 2 more often than you normally would do in those situations.
So the other thing is they hit the ball hard. These guys are great hitters. They hit the ball very hard, so probably a double play for anybody.
That looked like a double down the line, but it was snatched by Nunez. And that'll be it for the Tigers here in the 6th inning, on our way to the 7th at Comerica. The Tigers, Minnesota, wrapping up this series. Well, we talked about some of the Tigers that'll be key to next year, fellas. How about this guy right here, Daniel Norris?
Yeah, I like Daniel Norris from his first time that he said he was happy to be a Tiger. And he showed his athleticism in the first game here in this bunt play. But really got sneaky stuff and pretty polished, ready for the big leagues coming over from Toronto. Got hurt, went on the disabled list, came back 2 weeks early, 2 to 4 weeks early. And I think he's a guy that you could plan on getting into the starting rotation. Youngest player on the Tiger roster at 22 years old. And I think he's pretty impressive with his attitude as well. Just like his drive, determination. He's around the batting cage. Talks to his teammates quite a bit. Got good action so far. What do you think, Rod?
His last 2 starts for me, he took it to a whole nother level. The one start against Minnesota where he threw 47 pitches in his first start off the disabled list, and then that start against the White Sox. The fastball was firm. There was much more aggression. He was pitching with a nice tempo. I loved what I saw out of him in his last 2 outings.
I think the health issue is something that you always want to pay attention to. I looked 2014 between minor leagues and major leagues, about 131 innings. This year between the two, I think he's about 144. So you look into next year, if he gets another start, was he up for one more start?
One more, probably.
So if he goes 6 innings, that puts him at about 150 innings. So maybe 180, 190 innings next year. He'd be a guy you'd have to probably from the start of the season maybe skip him on an off day early in the year so you could save some innings for later in the year, hopefully when you're in contention.
Strikeout of Sano, first out of the inning.
Pretty good location here. Looks like a changeup. Ball goes straight down. Good depth to it down in the zone.
Jeff Farrell in our wall side windows pitching change, taking over for Kyle Ryan, who had 4 1/3 and did good work. Here's Torrey Hunter. Fly ball right field. JD Martinez backs up. 2 gone. Here's Eduardo Nunez. Nunez on base 3 times in this game, 2 singles, hit by a pitch, has a steal, and has scored a run.
Well, just all around looking into we'll continue to talk about some of these guys. You're looking for a good mixture of youth and veterans. You always want to keep them mixed in the way the salary structure is. You can't have all veterans on your team. You want to keep young and old. Gives you limited opportunities on how you can construct your roster. Gives you the ability to make a deal if you can continue to have a lot of depth.
Chopper to the shortstop. Wilson on the backhand. And that is it for the Minnesota Twins. Coming up, the McLaren Health Plan 7th inning stretch. Championship Series. Don't miss a moment of the drama or the history. And it all begins October 8th on FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Well, we're talking about some of the young guys that'll be part of the equation next year. How about one of the veterans, Justin Verlander?
And Verlander has made the necessary adjustments to get him back to the level of having a lot of success every fifth day. Now when he takes the ball for the Tigers, they know they've got that ace back, a guy that can go out and dominate the opposition as he has done for the last couple of calendar months. And I know Tigers fans, of the lasting memory they will have of Justin Verlander, of his last start here in this ballpark, his final 3 pitches, 98, 99, 97 miles an hour. So the fastball's back.
Look at the whip in his last 9 starts.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's really good.
Outstanding.
0.92, a 2 ERA, a little bit over 2 ERA. So the ace is back. Justin Verlander has done terrific work.
Well, if you think back into this year when he came back off the disabled list, there was some criticism and doubting that he was ever going to be the guy that he is today again. You look back, though, it really had a core surgery in the winter of 2014, came back and pitched last year. Really wasn't ready, wasn't right. That kind of bled into this season in spring training where he hurt his arm. And then he took the time on the disabled list and got the core strong, the arm strong, and he's just worked himself back out of his own little personal spring training at the top of his game now. And I don't think there's any doubt in anybody who did doubt him that Justin Verlander is a dominating pitcher. Though he's changed a bit, doing more homework, following a scouting report and a game plan more than he ever has. He understands he's not going to blow guys away like he did the last inning, but he does have it if he needs it.
But he has been using that fastball strategically up in the strike zone in the mid-90s, 94 to 95, getting some easy outs and pop-ups. And also the evolution of his slider this year has really gone up. He's using his slider more so this year than any year Verlander has, and it's been a really good pitch for him.
When he had the power, he used to pretty much throw it to arm side. Everything kind of moved into the right-handed batter's box. He added that slider, it went the opposite direction. And the other thing is he also throws that backdoor slider to the lefties now. It gives him a new dimension.
Nick Castellanos leading it off for the Tigers. Santana back out there as we go to the bottom of the 7th. The Twins have led most of the day today, 6-0. They recorded all 6 runs in the 2nd this afternoon. Here's the 3-0. Castellanos looks at a strike, 3-1. Nick sends a ground ball to third. Right there is Nunez.
And speaking of dealing, Mr. Santana, he has been on point all afternoon today. Fastball's gotten all the way up to 96 miles an hour. He's thrown 94 pitches in the game. That slider, the depth on that pitch has been lethal. The right-handers have not been able to pick that pitch up. Very few guys have been able to barrel it up. He's pitching like a #1 for Minnesota that they signed him to be when they gave him a 4-year contract and before the season began.
Remember back some years back.
Ball's hammered pretty good to the gap in right center field. That ball's going to go off the wall, extra bases. Tyler Collins has his 2nd double in this game.
He jumped all over that 92-mile-per-hour heater that was featured by Santana. Tigers continue to swing early and often.
Yeah, Tyler Collins, he likes to swing the bat early. Did on his last at bat. Here again, like you say, ball cookie right down the middle. Not too many of those today. You can see by box tracks. There it is right there, center cut. Tyler's ready. The double. Just getting back to Santana. I remember when I was with Arizona, we were thinking about acquiring him, but they didn't want to do it because there was too much money left on his contract when he was with the Angels.
Right.
And the MO was he doesn't have a slider. He was not throwing his slider. Well, we can clearly see he is now.
Yeah, he's throwing it now.
Alex Avila is 1 for 2, doubled in his first at bat. That double by Collins, the 5th overall hit for the Tigers today. They're trying to get on the board here in the 7th. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Bouncing ball right side. Diving stab. Mauer. Santana covers for the out.
He has made a real nice transition from behind the plate a couple of years ago to first base, now in his second full year at the first base position. And he just makes all the plays over there. One step and a dive. Then he gets to his feet in a hurry, knowing that Santana will be there. Nice firm feed underneath to get the out.
Thing about it is, when you want to underhand it, you want to follow it, which he does a good job. You would expect Joe Mauer to be fundamentally sound.
And that would be our Chevrolet high-strength steel.
He stole that hit.
Yeah, he did.
Wilson swings on the first pitch and drives one to the gap. That's going to get the Tigers their first run. It'll go all the way to the wall. It's a double and an RBI for Josh Wilson.
Not sure. Is there a mandate today to get on those pitches early, Ryan? We've done it before now.
They've been swinging early.
Up the gap right here by Josh. Tigers get on the board, now trail 6-1. Ball's down and in, right in his zone.
That'll keep it going now for Rajai Davis. Swing and a miss. Rajai struck out in his last at bat. Wilson just snapped an 0 for 9, by the way, with that double. 100 now for Santana.
Pretty efficient, except for those second and third innings.
Tigers had a chance to get him early. He threw 19 pitches in the first, 21 in the second inning, and that's when you have to get good starters. You have to get them early in the game. Once you allow them to settle in, it gets very difficult to get to them.
Yeah, they find that rhythm. They get all their pitches. They're throwing all their pitches, and then they have the mixture to throw any pitch in any count, and that makes them very tough.
And Santana, one of those guys with a 6-run lead. He's not a rookie pitcher out there that's just going to try to blow you away because he's trying to get efficient outs. He has still incorporated every last one of his pitches through the 5 innings he's been out there. 6 innings, excuse me.
Two and two now on Rajai.
Mr. Dramatics up there, Rajai Davis.
Yeah, I don't know what he's going to do here to Rajai Davis, but if he wanted to throw Rajai a fastball, because Rajai has gotten a boatload of sliders today, Rajai might not be able to react to the fastball.
Hopefully he could foul it off, live for another mistake.
Down he goes. So Santana has 5 strikeouts in the ballgame. Tigers get on the board, though. It's now 6-1. To hashtag Detroit Data Strong Fan for a chance to have it featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. So as we count down the final innings of 2015 here at home on a Kids Day and a gorgeous afternoon here, the Tigers down by a score of 6-1. And they have a new pitcher now. Jose Valdez will check in.
Well, Jose Valdez, a young pitcher in his 7th game, 9th inning. You see his ERA at 3.38. 4 strikeouts, 4 walks. Kid that's got getting his feet wet, starting to improve with every appearance.
Stuff's electric. And the only question with Jose is throwing the ball over the plate a little bit more frequently, because he's got a lot on the fastball. 97, 98.
One of the progressions, you bring him into a game like this, it's down by the score of 6-1, not much pressure. Your hope is that you can, by the end of the season, gradually increase the type of inning that they're going to enter with more and more on the line. And Valdez has taken some time so far.
Eduardo Escobar, then Kurt Suzuki and Byron Buxton. Bottom 3 for the Twins.
It's a huge,
big rip.
Yeah, huge swing taken by Escobar. Usually when hitters take swings that aggressively, they come up empty, especially on a fastball at 96.
Escobar on base twice, once on an error, once on a walk.
They say that Escobar is an outstanding teammate. He has taken over the shortstop position. Remains to be seen whether he will take over that position going into next year. But one thing I know Minnesota would love to do, they would like to have an everyday shortstop in such a premium position. And it's so unusual for a team to be where they are in the standings with not really having an everyday shortstop all season.
And from what we hear from some of our Minnesota friends is that this guy is a Paul Molitor type guy, grinds it out every day, plays Twins baseball.
Good leader of men, too. Molitor just looks like a manager, doesn't he? Old school manager.
Pulled foul.
Well, you see he kind of paid his dues, was a coach before he became a manager. Went to got that HOF that he signs his ball with. That's special. That gives you some respect when you walk in the door.
A little bit.
But again, much the same as Brad, when you see guys going through different things, both of those managers, but you got to have that calm. You've got to have that direction. It's got to remain consistent. I think your team really reads that, and you have to lead quietly that way. And Paul Molitor, I mean, he would not compromise the right way to play the game, regardless of how many you lost in a row. And if you're going to not adhere to those situations, I don't think you'd be on his team very long.
Popped up, shallow left. Wilson running back, so is Castellanos, and Nick runs it down.
Now, we played for a guy like that. He told us a couple times, my way or the highway. What do you remember about Sparky?
Just how much attention he paid to detail. And obviously I wasn't a regular player on that particular team, but I remember every single day, and Gimme, you did this too on days where you wouldn't play. Sparky would have everybody lined up on that left field line about 5-10 minutes before the BP was over, and he would run everybody. He would stand out in center field, and we'd run about 10 sprints before the game. He wanted to make sure if you weren't starting that day that you were going to get your running and you were going to be prepared.
He certainly did, and he used to line up in front of me occasionally and act like a defensive back.
Did he really? Did you run him over?
I'd tell him that's dangerous. Yeah, I did run him over one day when I was mad at him for not playing. But, you know, he did those types of things. That was really for my benefit and the team's benefit.
He didn't miss anything either. If you thought he wasn't looking, you were surprised.
Yeah, well, and he always had that little finger pointing at you when you didn't think he was looking. But we were blessed to be able to have a guy like that teach us the right way.
1 ball, 1 strike on Kurt Suzuki here with 1 gone in the 8th. It is 6-1 Minnesota. That'll run the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Suzuki a single and 3 at bats. He has an RBI as well.
Well, if you're Kurt Suzuki in this particular situation, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a fastball. It's going to be firm at about 96, but whether you can catch up to it or not is another story.
96 right there. Looked like he cut it a little bit, got around it. And this is what he's got to deal with. Got to be able to control that velocity and movement.
You think he did that on purpose, or you think that was just
yeah, I don't think he
mistake?
did. I think he's, I mean, 2-1 like that, I think he's right. He's probably going with his velocity.
If he could find that cutter at 96, that works up here, though.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember back in the day, the hardest slider I ever hit against was J.R. Richard. It was 91, 92. Most of the time, they're down in the mid to lower 80s now. But, you know, he mastered that. And again, with the case right here with this young man, if he could master the 4-seamer and then with the 2-seamer out of that pitch, really would be effective.
Dave, Steve have the best slider of any pitcher you ever faced?
Pretty good. He had the Snapdragon too. The big 12-6 seems like you had a nightmare about it a time or two.
Steve was pretty good.
Yeah. He'd also throw that fastball at the top of the zone, curveball, slider, and occasional change. They used to just pound me inside though.
Here's Wilson, the shortstop, on a couple of hops. 2 gone.
Who do you remember as your toughest pitcher ever to face? Maybe a guy that somebody else could hit, but you couldn't.
Fernando Valenzuela.
That screwball.
That screwball, man. I faced him in Mexico one winter. This is before he was Fernando Valenzuela. The next year he went to the big leagues. He was Rookie of the Year and the MVP, maybe Cy Young, or just Cy Young maybe, but that first year in the big leagues. But I saw him in Mexico that winter, and he was by far the best pitcher that I ever faced in my life. And this was before he'd even made his debut in the big leagues.
I know. I faced Mike Norris, who had the screwball. It was the same way. You could look for it, and nobody threw it. And even today, I wonder why nobody throws a screwball. If you could do it, you'd be pretty dominating, don't you think?
Yeah, everybody working on cutters and sinkers and things like that.
Now, it is tougher on your shoulder if you don't throw it properly. I think that's probably one of the issues.
That ball's belted deep to left field off the bat of Byron Buxton to the track and wall and gone. It is a home run for Buxton, his first. A solo shot. And the Twins added their lead 7-1.
We've been talking about Buxton and for half a year now since he came to the big leagues, and he has not made a lot of contact. But this 96-mile-per-hour fastball, he got out in front of it, and he displayed some of those tools that we've been talking about for a while. He killed that.
You can see why he's been rated one of the #1 prospects for years. Having a little fun.
They gave him some silent treatment.
It looks like it.
He went to go get his own love.
First career home run for Byron Buxton.
He hit it a ton.
I think that silent treatment should morph into everybody leaves the dugout.
Yeah.
Not just stands there. Just go.
Make him sit there by himself.
One ball, one strike on Brian Dozier. That is the first run for the Twins since the 6-run second.
Gibby, how were you when you managed on having guys like a Torrey Hunter, mentor? You might not be able to get to it with 2 outs. I shouldn't even ask you the question, but we might be able to finish it, and if not, we'll continue it. But how did you like having veterans on the bench like
it's a best
Torrey
case?
Hunter?
Yeah, it's a best case scenario. We were talking earlier how much he meant to this Tiger team. I think how much he means to the Twins team. But they handle most of the situations, and from the veteran guys, even maybe there's nobody beyond him, but close to him, to the rookie guys, he brings that all together. He makes sure that everything comes together the way it should.
High
we
fly
can talk
ball
about
to
it
left. Dozier is about to be the 3rd out of the inning, but the Twins get another run on the home run by Buxton, his first big league homer. #1 app for live baseball, and Bet is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, statcast, and more. Get MLB.com at Bet for your smartphone or tablet.
Well, just getting back to the Torrey Hunter thing, you know, he's a guy, when you got a guy like that in the clubhouse, you know, he's around what somebody might say that might be disruptive to your team. If you're a coach, you're a manager, you can't be every place all the time. So he's going to handle that situation, and he knows the way that should be. And again, talking about the influence that he had at the Tigers, my favorite story about Torrey Hunter is hearing one time they got their butts beat. And Torrey Hunter walked in and said, "Let's turn on some music." You know, he made that decision. And he also shoots some butt before. So I think that's it's an irreplaceable piece to a championship team.
Here's Dixon Machado to pinch hit as we get things rolling here in the bottom of the 8th. Machado for Kinsler.
Tonkin, for the most part, fastball slider. His fastball tops out at about 95 miles an hour. He will also throw you an occasional changeup.
Pretty good play there down at third base by Nunez, 1 out.
He's made a couple real nice plays down at third base already. Real nice agility for Nunez at that position. He's a shortstop by trade, so he's got nice feet down there.
Well, Miguel Cabrera won't be batting, but Menards brings you the big money encounter. It is Miggy against the rest of the American League, Xander Bogaerts and Jose Altuve for the batting title. Miggy at 337. Bogaerts at 323 and Altuve at 322. I don't know. You can't catch him, can him?
No one's going to catch Miggy this year. He's going to win his 4th batting title in 5 years.
A little different offseason for him this year. Tigers to 4 straight postseason. Not this year, but a good year to learn some things and rebuild. I think a little bit maybe almost a hangover from all the playoff innings that they've played. I'm not sure people understand how much that can take you out of a situation and take out of your team.
Brian Holiday pinch hitting for Cabrera, who had a couple of walks and a single before departing. He'll hook that one to third. Another nice play by Nunez.
Yeah, they need to try somebody else.
Grant emptying the bench now as Marte will get a pinch hitting role here for Martinez. Guess who?
He wasn't listening.
1, 2, 3 inning, 3 ground ball outs to Eduardo Nunez. We're headed to the 9th. Has been awfully good today for the Minnesota Twins. 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run. Tyler Collins, second game this month with a couple of doubles, but you total it all up and Minnesota leads this one by a score of 7-1. New pitcher now is Tom Gorzelani.
And Gorzelani pitching in his 46th game this year. It has not been a good year for him overall, with a 6.38 ERA, 33 strikeouts, 22 base on balls. But I guess he's kind of interesting in the fact that he has dropped down to that low 3/4 arm slot. And if you don't know what's going to happen next year, but he might just fit into that bullpen as a lefty specialist only to left-handers if he can master that arm slot.
Yeah, I had a conversation with Gorzelani. It's kind of a big change to lower that arm angle, then to get in a game and trust it. He did go to AAA to try and work it out. The other day when we were playing and Zach Duke was on the mound, was kind of the guy that he's trying to fashion himself after. Zach Duke used to throw high 3/4. He went down low and has been pretty effective and had a couple of very good years. So I think it's going to take some more time, but like you say, he's a guy with experience, understands the game, understands situations. He's left-handed. So a possibility, I guess, that he could stick with this team next year.
One ball, one strike on Aaron Hicks as we get things started here in the ninth. 7-1, Minnesota with the lead. Two balls, two strikes now on Hicks. He's had a pretty good day. Couple of singles and RBI. He's also walked on base 3 times today for Minnesota. Twins have 10 hits. The Tigers have 6.
We talked about earlier in the game about Aaron Hicks, how he was a prospect that really disappointed earlier. Better game than he had coming into this year. Do you think that there's a guy they count on for next year, Rod?
Absolutely. I think he has a chance to be a good outfielder and an adequate hitter for a long time.
Bottom of the order guy?
And a switch hitter with power. He's done better at the top of their lineup than he has at the bottom of their lineup. So it remains to be seen. He has a tremendous amount of talent. Former #1 draft choice. The best thing for Buxton, for Hicks, Mario, this year might have been the emergence of guys like Rosario, then Buxton coming up and getting all the reps in center field. He probably thought to himself, I'm going to get left behind if I don't turn it up a notch.
Yeah, he played some center field as well. Hicks did. So you got Buxton in there, and they're penciling him in for a long time.
That is lifted in the air toward right and catchable for Steven Moya, who is checked in to play right field.
Let's take a look at the big boys' big play of the game in the 8th inning. Ryan Buxton got on top of 96 miles an hour. Got good bat speed right here, and that's way out. Of course, like any other young hitter, can you do it consistently?
That's the key.
Can you do it with the breaking ball, the changeup?
Mom be home soon. Can't hit the slider.
You better hit that pitching machine then if you can, huh? Did you do a lot of that when you were younger? Hit that pitching machine, that curveball machine?
And the fastball machine. I love them both. It's a good teaching tool if you work at it properly.
Remember Billy Muffett was a pitching coach, and he was down in Evansville with us, and we'd stand down there and he'd feed that wheels machine, the jugs machine, with curveballs. 150, 200 of them. Just stay back.
Mauer bouncing out, 2 up, 2 down here in the 9th inning for Minnesota. That'll bring up Miguel Sano. Swing and a miss by Sano, who today has had a rough afternoon. He's 0 for 4 with a total of 3 strikeouts in this game.
Yeah, that gives him a grand total of 35 strikeouts in his last 22 games.
Max Kepler, one of their prospects, is waiting in the on-deck circle.
Got a little extra heart rate going probably right now, huh?
He needs Sano to reach to have a chance to hit here in the ninth.
Thinking about bringing him in for Torrey Hunter. You were kidding me about the moon thing earlier, Mario?
Yeah, I was.
It's 10:37 tonight. You'll go out and look in the sky, okay?
Yeah.
And we'll talk.
Now, is that Eastern or Central?
It's Eastern.
Okay. What's going on tonight? You going to fill me in?
Well, we got a full eclipse happening. It only happened. This particular eclipse once. It's 5 times in all since 1900. So you do it. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
See if it makes your day good.
What if I forget?
Well, you'll hear the wolves. All right.
It's a base hit to right center and more. That thing's going to roll to the wall. Sano is eyeballing a triple right now. He's lumbering around second, on his way to third, stumbling down there with a 3-base hit. A 2-out triple for Sano, which means Max Kepler will make his major league debut now with his first big league at bat. And with more on that, here's Justin White.
Yeah, Mario, Max Kepler becomes the latest Twins rookie to make his big league debut this season. And what a fascinating story this kid has. He was born in Germany, and get this, both of his parents were professional ballet dancers. Yes, so Max has lots of athletic ability, albeit in an unconventional way. He speaks 3 languages, German, Polish, and English. And oh, by the way, guys, he can play some baseball, too. He was the Twins minor league player of the year and helped their Double-A affiliate in Chattanooga win the Southern League Championship. This is his first major league at-bat.
And he's facing Tom Gorsalani here with a runner at third and 2 outs in a 7-1 ball game. Lefty-lefty matchup here for Kepler.
How about J-Dub all over Max Kepler?
Yeah, he is. He's a little different uniform. What do they wear in ballet?
2-2.
2-2, right?
It's a high drive to right field, but it's going to go foul.
Getting the head out, isn't he? He's not thinking about anything but that joining history with the first at-bat being a home run.
322 this year in Double-A with 32 doubles, 13 triples, 71 RBIs.
It's a good year.
The MVP of the Southern League.
That's Double-A, correct?
Correct.
Tough league. Very warm. Long bus trips.
Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Max Kepler.
What was your first at bat, Rodney?
In the major leagues?
Yep.
It was against George Frazier on opening day in '83. Got a base hit.
Got a base hit. Nasty sinking stuff, kind of lower than 3/4.
He got in on me a bit. About 99 hopper between third and shortstop, but it was a knock though. Pinch hit appearance late in the game. How about yours?
Did you get excited real quick?
Absolutely. I was excited to be in the big league.
Yeah. Yeah, well, mine was against Goose Gossage. It lasted 15 seconds. It was 3 pitches, and that was it. I went down quickly.
You got him back, though.
Yes, I did. When it counts.
Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out in the first big league at bat for Max Kepler. Results in a swinging strikeout. Here comes the bottom of the ninth. Preview of tonight's Tigers Live. We go back to Justin White.
Yeah, Mario, it's the final home edition of Tigers Live for 2015. I'll be inside the Tigers clubhouse chatting with the players, and of course you'll hear from Tigers manager Brad Ausmus. Plus, we'll show you all the highlights, and Trevor Thompson and Craig Monroe will be inside the Coliseum studios for Tigers Live immediately following the game, guys. Back to you for now.
Hey, Justin, thanks very much for wearing that Spartan green. We really appreciate it.
You know I did it for you, buddy.
Yeah,
Hey,
me too.
How about the green socks he's got on?
Oh, they're there too. Yeah.
Show us the socks.
Here, come on.
Oh, sock game on point.
Ron and Gibby, no, you got to coordinate. You guys know that. Mario, you know that too. Come on now.
All right, J-Dub. Thanks, buddy.
J-Dub.
Simo and Rod Allen, they're setting the stage, man. They're setting the standard. You got to be sharp, don't you?
And the whole crew dresses nice.
It's
Everybody dresses
It's like
nice.
a triathlon. You got to have a tie. You got to have socks. You got to have the pretty, the cool-looking suit coats.
Well, they make us put it on, so we might as well put a little effort into it.
Stephen Moya getting it at bat here.
Make us look as good as we can, huh?
It's hard to do for some of us.
Talking about me?
No, I didn't say any names. I didn't say any names.
Okay. Peeking out of the corner of your eye. Fish eye me a little bit. I see it.
Moya waits on the 2-0 and looks at a ball outside. 3-0 on Stephen.
Well, if I can take a little bit of time here to thank you guys for welcoming me into your booth this year. I've really enjoyed it. This will be my last game today and for this year, and hopefully I can be back. And even beyond this, the truck, the cameramen, everybody involved in this telecast, I hope all the viewers appreciate and understand how hard these people and how dedicated they are and work to bring you the ball games, and the support has been unreal. So I just want to thank everybody for that.
Well, glad you enjoyed it, getting back in the booth this year.
No, we did the doubleheader last week. You did the first game. I came in the second game, I think.
Yeah.
Those guys were on fire. I mean, they busted their tail like you got to do as a player. And, you know, there's great teammates, and I'm very appreciative of that. And it's fun to be on a good team. So thanks again, guys.
3-2 on Moya. Well, Gibby, we loved having you this year. We look forward to next season. Brought some good insights. I've learned more about moon phases than I'll probably ever learn.
I get out there occasionally.
Yeah.
You're way out there.
Got to stop getting up at 5:30 and studying all this stuff. One away.
Well, here's our call, Sam. 1-800 call Sam. Call of the game. Shout out to the Tigers fans. Not going to get to 3 million this year, but they're going to get close. And it's a barometer that they usually get to every year. 2.7 million tickets sold. 9th in Major League Baseball. How about that? Some of the best fans in the world.
You know, the thing you realize about the fans is how passionate they are. You hear some of the frustrations come out, but if they didn't care, they wouldn't even say a word. So
No, they wouldn't.
it's all good. That's like the old coach who never said anything to you, or he corrected you too much because he cared about you. He wanted to make you better, and I think the fans of Detroit have been outstanding.
2 up and 2 down, and the Tigers now will send up Tyler Collins. Now we go to other cities in the middle of pennant races, and sometimes we'll see crowds of 15, 18, 20,000. You come here to Detroit, and while the team may be out of it, you're still in the 30s, 35 or so. Really makes a statement for what the fans have done this year, and this being their last chance to watch the Tigers at home. Collins will try and keep it going here in the 9th inning as he looks at a strike. 0-1. Collins, good day today. Couple of doubles. He scored the only Tigers run. That came in the 7th inning.
Yeah, using line to line pretty much too. One down to Linda left field, the other to the right center. I think Tyler, one of the things he needs to learn, he kind of goes hard. Maybe tries to run it through the wall sometimes, where he learned just to use a little finesse at times. It could
Back off a little bit.
Yep, it happen as well, but he's a very intense young man who plays the game tough.
I think that's one of the things that Jim Leland appreciated about Collins when he came to Major League Spring Training a few years ago when Jim was still the manager. He could play all 3 positions. He played the game the right way, and I think Brad Ausmus appreciates the way that Collins also plays the game.
Got himself his third knock of the day.
Making a statement today, isn't he?
It'll be a 2-out single.
Looked like Escobar, the shortstop, had him shaded up the middle. And he sliced the ball the opposite way. Escobar took a few steps, left his feet, but was not able to field the ball cleanly.
Here is Avila with 2 outs. Perhaps don't know it to be true, but it might be the last at bat for Alex Avila at home. Of course, there's much conversation about where Alex will end up next year.
Well, a couple things involved is, he's had the injuries, he had the knee. He's not going to be able to catch. I don't know if he can do it every day. He's had knee problems. He's got some concussion problems. One of the things that you have to consider in baseball is the salary goes up as well if you get more years in and play more games. So that may not fit into the Tigers' plans, and that's kind of interesting because we all know who runs the Tigers now.
Right.
1 ball, 1 strike on Avila.
Well, as the everyday catcher the last 4 years, he was really a nice leader of that pitching staff. They went on to win 4 consecutive division titles. He made an all-star team back in 2011, won a Silver Slugger Award. The bat has slowed down the last couple of years due to probably some of the injuries. But Alex has been a great teammate. His teammates absolutely adore him.
If you're James McCann, you got to be appreciative as you know that Alex passes every bit of knowledge to him that he can.
Yep.
2-2 on Avila.
I have a feeling that Alex Avila is going to be just fine wherever he goes. If he stays, if he goes.
You never know. He may work something out here at the Tigers. Split the time a little more next year than he did this year. I think McCann is this 109 games this year. All of them have not been catching. Some have been pinch hitting appearances. I don't know. I think probably a good number for a young catcher is around 130 games if you want to prolong it and avoid some of the injuries that get created by too much play.
McCann acquitted himself very nicely behind the plate this year. He threw out some of the fastest base runners in our sport. As a matter of fact, about halfway through, he got the nickname McCannon with some of the throws down the second base, the footwork, the exchange, and of course you have to have a very strong arm, and he fits the bill. He's had a nice season.
Avila fouls it away to stay alive.
If you're a pitcher and you give him any chance at all, he's going to get the runner for you.
Yep.
Extremely accurate, quick release, can throw from his knees as well. I think you're going to see him develop on throwing behind the runner at first. The old Yadi Molina right-handed slider down and in on the pick plate at first. They pick it. They want the ball in the dirt, so the runner flinches to go to second. They can pick you off, but time will tell how good he can be.
And he walked him, ball 4. Avila gets a 2-out base on balls. That'll keep it going now. Josh Wilson will stand in.
You know what I'm looking for.
History?
Yes, I am. I always talk about getting into extra innings in a big way, Rod. Like 20 plus. What's the longest extra inning game you've been in as a player?
As a player, probably in the minor league somewhere, 15, 16 innings or something like that.
But wouldn't it be nice? It's such a nice day right now. Just use. I want it to end with position players pitching.
That's the way you want to end?
Yeah, and pitchers playing first base.
You sound like a guy that's not traveling tonight.
Yeah, history. Want to make history.
Wilson stands in, looks at a ball that spins up high, 1-0.
Now, you had 19 last year in Toronto on a getaway day, so why not go a little beyond that? And the truck that I just praised, let's see how good they are.
You know what they're saying about you right now.
Yeah. Some choice words about you right now.
That's okay.
In the air to shallow center. History will not be made today. That'll be it for the Tigers in the ninth inning. A single, a walk, 2 men left, and they will close out the home season here with a 7-1 loss to the Minnesota Twins. We'll have a whole lot more coming up from Comerica Park after this.